was like, we need to play as Joker and Harley Quinn.
If you can play as Thanos in Fortnite,
God,
does that mean that
I
PUBG
guess they
is
needed.
PUBG is like trying to do the whole DC.
Well,
Marvel
I mean,
thing,
it
but
makes
Fortnite
sense.
versus PUBG.
It makes sense because fucking
Fortnite's colorful
and apparently good, and PUBG
Wow.
is edgy and shit. So,
edgy,
I mean,
low
it
effort,
matches up.
Edgy, low effort shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so we are theoretically live. I
Theoretically.
think that.
Yeah, let's check the Twatch.
I'm gonna
Should be
look at your
okay.
Twatch.
Ooh.
Ooh. Girl, what that Twatch do? I forgot to. Episode 3.
Is it? Yeah, it is 3, isn't it?
Podcast. Yeah, we've been doing this for a month now.
Wow, rad.
Shit. Fuck. Game. News.
Yeah. Talk show?
Oh, we're gonna cut this part out of the audio thing. Game news, comics, anime. Animu.
Anime.
Animals.
Anime.
Update that info.
Yeet.
I'm gonna turn this way. Yeah. We'll get webcams too.
Oh, webcam good.
Yeah.
Webcam good.
Webcam good.
I need a nice proper webcam. I really wish mine wasn't busted. It was a good webcam for as long as it lasted.
What was it?
It was the one built into my laptop. Does not fucking
Oh,
work anymore.
it's just
I think one of the
straight busted
drivers
now?
got deleted and I couldn't re-download it, so it's fucked it up permanently. Which sucks ass.
Is the worst. Okay, we're gonna copy this, post it to the Facebook. Hello, everybody. How? Yeah.
Want to try that again?
Yeah. No.
No. What do you
No.
mean?
I don't. Podcast canceled.
We live, bitch.
I'm. We in this bitch. It's too late to go back.
It's 2018. We're eating ass.
It's
now.
20. It's 2018. We're eating ass now. I think we got a title card.
It's 2018. We eat ass now.
So, Mr. Sir Person Human Ryan, how was your week? I'm so tired, dude. I woke up at like 5:50 this morning.
Yeah, I feel you. I was up at 5:30 myself, so
Oh, God.
I have those big 5 a.m. moods right now.
Yeah, we should have made coffee before we started this,
It's not a bad idea.
but we're too deep in now.
Whatever.
Podcast
We're in
canceled.
this shit now. We can't get out. This life, it's got us.
It's we should change the podcast name to Podstars.
Podstars? Oh.
Gang Pods?
Podstar
Gang
Crusaders. Gang
Pods.
Podstars is good, actually. Isn't that like that? What's that show? Pawn Stars?
Yeah. Oh, we could do a
This is
Pawn Stars podcast.
Pawn Stars, your official #1 Pawn Stars podcast.
Fucking hockey punks.
It'll be a spin-off with Hockey Punks and with the Monster by Mistake lorecast.
We've got too many spin-off podcasts going on.
Let's try to get through this one first.
So we're doing a thing this week where Ryan came to my house. That way there's less delay in the audio, so it'll feel a little less janky and stilted.
Yeah, also, the stream will sound decent.
Yeah, because that's the thing. The stream kind of is choppy. Since I'm the one streaming it, OBS kind of just cuts off and is choppy for Ryan's end. The MP3s that we post are fine because we do that with Audacity and
that always sounds clear. But
Yeah, that always
the
sounds way
stream isn't
better.
always a guaranteed.
But yeah, and like even for the MP3 ones, it'll be better because it'll flow better. There's less of a delay, which means that like the conversations will just flow way better. Because I was noticing listening to it that like sometimes I'd say something while you were already going into another point, and it like
Exactly.
felt
The delayed audio of the stream, because that's what we're hearing each other talk over, like the Discord. When Discord cuts out or glitches out and you are saying something, you will kind of continue what you're saying, and then it'll, glitch out, and then it'll go really fast.
Yeah,
and I'll just kind of have to catch up with what you said. So I'll either leave periods of silence in the audio recordings, or like an entire period of like people talking over each other, and then it usually sync it back up again, and it sounds okay. But having to edit all of that is really fucking annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, like, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes.
It takes a good 2 hours of editing just to kind of get all that shit down. And it's difficult. So this is a lot more enjoyable of an experience, I think. And so far, it seems like the Audacity is going well.
Yeah, it's picking both of us up. Thank you, Voice Meter. Shouts out, go donate to Voice Meter.
Yeah, exactly.
Or us, give us money.
Donate to Voice Meter. We need to set up a Patreon.
Yeah.
What are our stretch goals?
Our stretch goals are 24-hour podcast.
Stretch goal, buy us a pizza.
Yeah. Feed my face.
Feed me.
Stuff my food hole.
Stretch goal, buy Ryan one of these ass mouse pads.
I want a Giorno ass mouse pad, but it's his chest.
Yeah, because he's got them huge pecs.
He's got them big old cleavage.
The Italian man titties.
Buff man titties.
Nothing wrong with that. That's just
Not
part of
at
the
all.
culture. If you ever been down to Naples, that's just what they're like down there.
That's why it's so close to nipples.
Naples and nipples, funnily enough, same root word. That's language. That's how it works.
It is. I'm a language master. I'm good at the words.
I speak proper English.
All right. So now that we got the formality of the fact that Ryan is inside my house out of the way, did you have a week?
I had a week. I didn't play anything more than Lego DC Supervillains, which I'm really enjoying.
Good.
But it's also because I've kind of didn't have too much time to play anything more intensive than what amounts to basically a pick up and play mission structured game.
You didn't get onto that Delta Rune hype?
I got a little bit of Delta Rune out of the way, actually. I think right after we were finished recording the last podcast, I played for like a good 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
So I got
Chill out.
nicely through, and I've just kind of been enjoying the experience of that.
My cat's freaking out.
Cats be like that.
Cats be like that. Cats be freaking.
But yeah, so I played about 2 hours of Deltarune. I'm enjoying it. It's I mean, as somebody who loves Undertale, it's actually very close to Undertale.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I've been able to gather from it.
Yeah.
I actually ended up finishing it. I don't think I got the good ending.
Oh.
Don't think I did. It was
and that's just episode 1.
yeah, exactly. It's just chapter 1. I don't know where it's gonna go from there, but I
wonder if
I was actually gonna stream it after this.
That'd be good.
To try to do a genocide run or try to actually get the good ending.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's definitely a fun game, though. I mean, what a surprise, right? Basically getting Undertale 2 for free in what appears to be maybe a chapter-by-chapter format.
Yeah.
Is really, really generous of Toby Fox.
Telltale.
Yeah.
Undertale.
Except Undertale good.
Yeah.
And still here.
Susie will remember that.
Toby will remember that.
Oh, no.
Tammy will remember that.
Lance will remember that. Or Lancer.
I really, really like how they've kind of reappropriated the characters and kind of aesthetics and stories of the first game and adapted it into like a new context. So it's kind of like, all these characters from the previous game are now assuming kind of new personas or weird jobs. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of wondering how this is all going to fit together, whether or not it's like a prequel or a sequel.
Yeah, having beat it, it is still very unclear what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what its link to Undertale is besides the characters.
Yeah, and it might not have. It might have some obscure link, like
because I mean,
alternate timeline or something. But like,
and the name Deltarune is in itself not just kind of you switching the letters around with the word Undertale, but is a reference to the royal crest from the first game, which is the Delta Rune. So it's like definitely tied to Undertale. I right now with kind of what I've played and what I've seen people play, I'm not terribly sure what the link is yet. Besides, the superficial stuff like the visual references, character designs, all that sort of stuff.
Probably some remixed music.
There's definitely a little bit of remixed music.
That's it. I haven't played Undertale. I'm gonna try and pick it up soon because now I'm interested after having beaten Delta Rune to try and. Because I'm sure there's so many things that were lost on me, like so many.
I mean, the first couple of screens alone, like that first opening cutscene, is so chock full of references to the first game.
Okay, yeah,
that it's like fuck.
Like there's a reveal at the end that I'm sure means something.
But yeah,
and was hype as fuck.
Ascertain what
because it feels like it's supposed to be, but I was like, it's lost on me. So.
And I know that throughout the game they're teasing Papyrus. And kind of like you go and you see his house, but you can't go in.
That's legit like that's the only thing that's in there.
Yeah, so there's that. And I know that Sans is in the game.
Yeah. And he befriended your mother last night.
Oh, that's
it's a little suggestive.
That's not disconcerting, but I don't know. Sans would be a good stepdad though.
Yeah.
he'd make bad jokes and you'd have a good time. But
and you'd be fucking your mom.
That shit is really interesting. Oh yeah. That shit's kind of weird though. It's a very different sort of game from Undertale in terms of the kind of story it's telling, because it's working off of the mythology and lore and familiarity of the previous game.
Yeah.
So it's not introducing you to these characters. Now it kind of wants the audience to ascertain what the story might turn out to be from its use of these characters. So it's kind of a different experience from playing the first game, and it's not the same kind of story, which is nice. In terms of the gameplay, though, it's practically the same, except for the superficial changes to the battle screen. It kind of looks more like a traditional JRPG now.
I really like the changes, because, I mean, I've seen the Undertale normal one, and it looks like Mother.
It does. It looks exactly like Mother.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. One of the many comparisons people draw between it and Mother.
I wonder if it was an inspiration.
Gee.
Mother ripped off Undertale.
Sans' Ness. That's just how it is. But just the look of bereaved sadness.
Sans is everyone.
Ness is everyone.
That
wouldn't be so bad.
No, that'd be all right.
A world full of Nesses is all right.
Kingdom Hearts, Undertale, Mother crossover when?
Oh, that needs to happen.
Yeah.
You know what?
But does it?
Smash Bros. Undertale crossover when?
Oh my god.
Yo, okay.
If Sans...
Those bonus characters, it will definitely be Sans. If they have an Undertale character in the game,
If they have an Undertale character, it'll be Sans.
And I could totally
I don't see him
see
being a fighter. I see him being a trophy.
He might be, yeah. And I'd just like some kind of reference. Even a stage would be great, like an Undertale themed stage. But that would be pretty impressive. Just
how would that work?
When the last version of Smash Bros came out, Undertale wasn't even like a thing. From what I recall, like it was so new.
I don't even think it was out when.
I don't think it was.
Smash.
And then because it came out 2014, I think.
Yeah, and Smash was 2013.
Yeah. So it just like wasn't a thing, like the way that it is now. Now it's one of the most widely praised games of like the last decade, and it's had 2015. Yeah, so there we go. And the last Smash game definitely did not come out in 2015. So it's just kind of strange, Well,
I mean, if Shovel Knight got in Smash as a trophy, so I don't see...
I definitely... Oh, there it is right there, the first... There we are.
2015.
So they came out the same year.
Yeah,
so there's no way there's no way they could have captured... each other's imagination. Like, there's no way that the people who played
came out in September
the other Smash
came out in April.
Yeah, it's crazy to me though to think that the popularity of this is so immense.
Yeah, it's actually a little too immense. I find it ruined.
It ruined a lot of people's
hype
me for the game.
Off of
that's
Undertale,
for sure.
Because too many people Tumblr was just.
Oh yeah.
Fucking annoying with
and Tumblr is always annoying about
fandoms.
Like if you go on Tumblr, anything.
Tumblr, we're calling you out.
Yeah, Tumblr big controversial opinion.
Yeah.
Sometimes people on Tumblr are a little too much. You know?
No.
I'm certain that we're definitely the first people to have ever made
Tumblr
such a
is
wild
the caps lock
claim.
of the internet.
But it's kind of, when the sort of fandom that occurs on Tumblr is very fanatical, and people eat up hype on there. It's a hype machine, and it works in the game's favor because it creates hype for it, but some people will just inevitably be turned off. I still have friends who refuse to play Undertale because they know the fandom is just like poison.
Well, like, refusing to play is a little... Like, I didn't refuse to play because of the fandom. I was just like, I've got other things that I'm interested in, and like, I'm gonna let this die down a bit before... Like, I understand the hype, though, because, like, after playing Delta Rune, I'm like, okay, I can see how the characters are fun, and
exactly.
I can see this
why
being
the
like
writing
a
is
much
enjoyable.
wider, huge thing than like just this one chapter thing that I played that was like 3 hours maybe.
Like the character designs of Undertale, like if you've only experienced Undertale superficially, like through, or what do you call that? When you experience something through somebody else. Vicariously.
Yeah.
If you've only experienced Undertale vicariously, you don't really have a grasp, I think, of what makes it so good.
Yeah,
because playing the game is such an intimate experience.
The same
it's a
can
very
be
intimate
said
game
for like most any media. Like
well, especially a lot of indie games, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because most indie games are at least aesthetically kind of unassuming gems, right?
Yeah, well, like most indie games, like Undertale's pixels, Shovel Knight's pixel,
exactly.
The Messenger is also like it.
And there is a pushback within gaming against like pixel indies
for some reason.
For some fucking
like
reason,
some
yeah.
of the fucking best
As if
games.
the same people who are making those complaints aren't the same people who like rushed out the day the NES Classic came out to buy a glorified fucking emulator.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of silly. But that's So that's how it is, it's just kind of weird, but definitely Undertale it's not the sort of thing you can experience vicariously and understand really the true appeal of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that people, I think the fact that Delta Rune is free is convincing a lot of people to play it.
Yeah, that really helps.
Because I was lucky enough to receive my copy of Undertale for free from somebody as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not an issue for me to leap into the game. It was free. I'm like, oh, it's free. I'm
Yeah,
going to play it.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
then
Like,
I
if
did.
someone was like, "Hey, here's a fucking gift code for Undertale," I would have been like, "All right, let's fucking see what this shit is." But I was
Just
like,
like
I
the
don't
Pope.
want to spend $10 right now on this.
Yeah. I wonder if the Pope felt that way when Matt Pat gave him Undertale.
God, I can't. I still can't believe that shit happened. Do you think he played it? I wonder if the Pope played it.
I don't think the Pope owns a computer. Oh, I feel like maybe he does, but he definitely didn't.
It's a
play
really
video
old.
games.
It's still got Windows 98.
It's got like Windows fucking. What's that one that?
It's just a Commodore 64.
Oh shit! Yeah, there we go. It's an Amiga. He has an old Amiga. So yeah, no, it's definitely the kind of thing that you need to play to really understand, because you don't get the breadth of the humor and the writing and the characters, and because the character designs are really good, they're eye-catching, and I don't think that people would be turned off if they had just kind of seen the characters.
Yeah.
But it's just not quite the same thing, really. Experiencing the game is totally a unique experience. It's why people love it so much, because it's a really unique piece of art. And all games are art, but this is, a particularly noteworthy piece of art.
Yeah, it stands out from
exactly.
a sea of
and from its
its
contemporaries, it's nearly unmatched in terms of just the scope of its popularity in so little time. Which is getting back to the fact, if they include an Underkill character in Smash, I won't be surprised. Whether or not it's as a playable character or a trophy, or not a trophy, but an assist trophy.
At this point, where Smash is at, being released like next month.
Yeah.
Exactly a month away, I think.
Yeah.
It's either the 7th or the 3rd of December. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't think it'll be...
Not in the regular game.
No.
But maybe one of those 5 DLCs, because there's still those... Well, that's the thing we can talk about. There's 5 DLC slots for the game, and each of them are going to include a stage and a couple of individual music tracks, which is very, very, very interesting.
Yeah. That actually brings up the point of that leak that we talked about pretty much came up a bust. Ken was right.
Ken was right,
but
and,
I mean,
I think that could have been ascertained just from the fact that Ryu was in the game and that they were doing Echo Fighters.
Because the company that did the print, or rumors of piracy leak, someone found a name attached to that leak, quotation marks, and they tracked down the guy's LinkedIn and said, oh, he works at the company that publishes Smash Hit, so like it's hard confirmed. The company came out and was like, he quit in 2016. So
that's a while ago.
He just hasn't updated his
LinkedIn. Which is people thinking that they're doing God's internet detective work when they literally do not understand that there are just details people do not include in their online lives.
So that takes
one
care
fact
of that
omitted,
tidbit.
it destroys that leak entirely, which is a pity because some of the stuff in the leak was cool.
I mean,
we got Ken.
I mean, we can still possibly see Banjo and Kazooie, which is one of the ones that I was excited about.
That would be interesting.
Microsoft straight up came out and was like, "Hey,
we'd be down,"
we
which is actually
take our character,
which is kind of nice of them considering their rivalry with Nintendo in terms of being a hardware developer. But I mean, I guess they see it as, okay, well, we've got like Konami putting in 2 characters, Namco sticking in a bunch of characters, Capcom's got their characters. We don't want to be left out, especially since we own Rare.
Yeah.
And we know that Rare's games are more fondly remembered for their Nintendo games than they are for the games they've made for Xbox.
Yeah.
So
nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts, and what was that? The Perfect Dark Zero?
Oh God.
Which is not a very good game.
It's a bad game.
Yeah.
It is not a perfect dark game.
No, it's not.
It's a bad.
It's
dark
not
game.
perfect. It's imperfect dark.
But
that was definitely kind of some interesting news, I guess, that kind of broke at the very end of the next day after we did our last podcast. Pretty much all this news dropped. But
too much news.
There was a lot of interesting stuff going on. So that's kind of what I did. Is I played, I guess I'll talk about a little bit about Lego Marvel Supervillain.
Because I'm actually curious about it.
It's really fun. The coolest thing about this game is that it's very polished. A lot of Lego games recently have the reputation of being really polished games. Of course, they're not without their glitches
because they got
or whatever.
that WB money.
Yeah, they're not without their glitches. It happens.
Of course.
For the most part, it's a really polished experience. It's a mission-structured game set in an open world, like the last couple of Lego Marvel games, which they did Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego Avengers, and Lego Marvel Superheroes. So
is there like an overworld, and then you got like mini things, and you got your main objective?
Exactly. So there are levels that you enter into, and you can do free play mode on, and you access them through an open world overworld map.
Okay.
The overworld map it includes just a whole bunch of kind of DC locations. So of course the 2 main ones are Gotham City and Metropolis. They're kind of right across from each other. And then
canonically arguable, but whatever.
Exactly. There are versions of the cities that are like that, and there are versions that aren't. But the thing that makes me laugh is if you go behind. So I guess I should say, when you go to like Metropolis, for instance, there's sub-locations. So the sub-locations of Metropolis are kind of Superman sub-locations. So there's Stryker's Island Prison, Star Labs, Luthor Tower, and also what do you call it? Smallville, where he's from in Kansas. So if you go just behind there, you can go to Kansas. Whatever. I didn't know Kansas had like mountains, but whatever. Yeah, well, it's fun. It's like a play table, right?
Exactly.
It's like somebody's Lego.
It's the road carpet.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's kind of how it feels. So it's fine. It's very cute. And then on the Gotham City side, you have Gotham City, Arkham Asylum, the Joker's kind of amusement mile, which is like the amusement park area of Gotham City. You have Arkham Asylum, Wayne Manor, and then you go around, of course, Wayne Technology, Chinatown, Penguins Bar, the Iceberg Lounge, all that stuff like that. Then you go out kind of through Ace Chemicals, and behind Ace Chemicals is Slaughter Swamp.
Okay,
and in Slaughter Swamp, you have where the Legion of Doom's headquarters is, which is where the main base for your characters would be. And then
the best spot
Belle
for
Rave
villain
Prison.
Base.
Yeah. So all of that stuff is there. But it's cute. It's not a huge open world, but it's big enough
Yeah.
for the game that it is, which is
I mean, it's a Lego game, right?
It
is.
is.
It's
if you've
target audience is
if you play it on foot, like if you traverse the map on foot, it takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have so many characters that can fly, it feels a lot smaller than it actually probably is.
What is the playable character list, and how deep into the shit DCZ tier list does it go?
Huge. Literally every possible supervillain you could conceive of, even the worst ones. Kite Man, Condiment King.
Condiment King?
Yeah. All of the...
That's not a real thing.
Yes, he is. It's the ketchup and mustard themed condiment Batman villain, and
God.
he's real. The Condiment King. I'm not kidding.
I hate
and
this.
then that's not to count the breadth of alternate costumes for many characters. But it goes very deep. Like when you're saying how deep does it go into the Z tier list?
It's too deep.
There's some fucking like Z Prime characters in there. But it's really cool. And that's just the villains. In terms of the heroes, there's a lot too, because there's an entire separate chapter that you can do after you beat the game, where you can play as the heroes and do. Because I guess I should explain the premise of the game. So the game's story is kind of loosely based on the story Forever Evil, which was a comic book miniseries that DC did during the New 52. It was one of their first big events.
Yeah.
And the premise of the comic was that, and it was really, really cool, essentially an alternate Earth called Earth 3, which is populated by the evil versions of all these characters from Earth 1. So all of the Justice League are a group of villains called the Crime Syndicate, and they kind of tyrannically rule over this other Earth, and they've crossed over into the Prime DC universe and replaced the Justice League. And it's up to the villains of the regular Prime DC universe to fight these worse villains from another universe.
We gotta kill the bad guys because we're the baddest bad.
That's exactly it, though. And that's kind of what the story of this game is. You play as the supervillains, which a lot of people say all the time. DC, one of their best assets as a comic company is just the breadth of really fun, cool villains.
Yeah.
So this
Joker
game
is
fully,
a super fun villain.
Exactly. Fully takes advantage of it. You can play as literally every villain you could imagine, the most obscure one to the most popular. You also make your own character in the game, and I think that's one of the biggest draws of it is. Yeah, you have you kind of can make. I think there's 12 customizable character slots.
Okay, yeah.
And the customization is deep. There is
like
so
Lego
many
deep. Just fucking.
There is literally.
This guy's got a lightsaber.
Yeah, you could do that. You could 100% do it, and it's not an issue. You can give them. It is honestly just like sticking your hand in a Lego box,
and
pulling out like minifigure pieces, throwing together a minifigure. You could probably make that minifigure in this game, which is really cool.
Well, I mean, I think that's the appeal of Lego games too. Is
absolutely
that, like,
the customizability.
I won't step on these parts.
Yeah, and you can play around and have a good time.
Yeah.
So it's really, really deep in terms of what the character roster list is. The other thing about the characters I want to say is that a lot of them are voiced by the actors that many people consider the most,
iconic
seminal
ones.
or iconic voice actor for the character.
So
Joker is voiced by Mark Hamill.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Also,
Harley Quinn is voiced by Tara Strong, not Arlene Sorkin, who's my favorite Harley Quinn. She's the original Harley Quinn. But she's great. It's still Tara Strong. She's a good voice actor. And then you have Clancy Brown playing Lex Luthor. Mm-hmm. You have even just the small characters, too, like Merlin, who's Green Arrow's, like, I guess, arch enemy. He's just a kind of an evil archer.
Yeah.
He's voiced by John Barrowman, who plays him in Arrow.
Well,
so,
shit.
like, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
they could have just gotten, like, a fucking... And that character has literally been played by anybody. He's never cast with, like, a big actor in mind, With the exception of Arrow, where they cast John Barrowman. He's a relatively famous character actor. And in one instance, he was played by Malcolm McDowell in, like, an animated Green Arrow short film.
Yeah.
But for the most part...
When they had the budget for it.
Yeah, exactly. When they can cast kind of... Because that had a pretty good cast of voice actors in it. It was, like, Steve Bloom... who was it? It's called Green Arrow, and it's just like a short 10-minute movie. You could watch it for free on YouTube. It's there. It's really good. It's got Malcolm McDonough, or no, what's his name? Is his name Malcolm McDonough? McDonough. He plays a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he's really really good. Neil McDonough, sorry. Neil McDonough. So he plays Green Arrow. Steve Bloom plays Vertigo. Gray Delisle plays Black Canary, and Malcolm McDowell plays Merlin. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, him. He played Green Arrow. Yeah. So he's just straight up in the game voicing Merlin, which is really cool considering that they didn't have to do that, but they did. Mm-hmm. And same thing with the Justice League, with the exception of Superman and Wonder Woman, who are, from what I understand, not voiced by the character actors who played them in Justice League. So that would be, I think, George Newbern and Susan Eisenberg.
Mr. I don't talk to women because
not him. Yeah, thank God it's not him. I don't think it was either George Newbern or Susan Eisenberg who played Wonder Woman or Superman in it, but of course, because they totally had to, Kevin Conroy does play Batman.
Good. And
the rest of the Justice League are voiced accordingly by
I want a
actors.
DLC voice pack that's just Adam West.
That'd be cool, actually. So speaking of DLC, I did get the DLC pack that comes with the game. So I got the deluxe edition of the game. The deluxe edition is very nice. It comes with the game proper, with an exclusive cover, which is just a picture of the Joker, and it looks really cool. And then it came with a season pass for all the DLC for the game. So and the first season pass is already out, so I got that. Or the first DLC is out, which is the CW TV show characters. So I got pretty much all the characters from Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. I got John Constantine, like all of them. And then the rest of them, I don't know what they're going to be yet, but I know there's some coming for the upcoming movie. So there's going to be a Shazam pack. There's going to be an Aquaman pack.
Sick.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It looks fun.
That's
so
fucking rad.
I'm really excited. And I got all that now for free, and I also did get a minifigure, exclusive Lego minifigure with it, which is of Lex Luthor in his Superman body armor, which is kind of like he was Superman very briefly in the comics when he joined the Justice League, but he had that armor and it looks cool. So it's a nice figure, and you play
Lex
mostly
Luthor?
Lex Luthor as Superman. He built himself like an exosuit that was themed to Superman.
All right.
And then he acted as Superman.
Comic books are dumb.
Yeah, comics are dumb.
But they're great.
They're fun. Oh, and even the bad guys of the game, the Crime Syndicate, a lot of them are voiced by the actors who played them in the movie Justice League Crisis on Two Earths.
Okay.
Which is the animated movie they did based on Justice League Earth 2, which is like the 90s comic that the current version of the Earth 3 characters originated from, is a Grant Morrison comic. Very, very good. But it's fun so far, and it's a really enjoyable game. What I like the most about it, I think, is just that it's a perfect pick-up-and-play game. Everything is there for you pretty much from the start. And you get into the game, you can just roam the open world, fuck around. There's tons of little side missions. Then the mission structure just kind of lends it nicely to just doing like a mission a day, which is what I tend to do. Yeah. So it's really, really good so far. I'm enjoying it.
Are the side missions annoying, repetitive ones? Or are they...
A lot of them are kind of just fetch this shit.
Yeah.
But
fetch them. But I mean, that's like, pretty much what most side
pretense.
Missions are
this
now.
is a children's game.
Yeah.
I'm assuming kids who are like maybe 11 through to 15 years old. So I'm not the target demographic. Yeah. And I can't quite hold it to the same standard I would hold a regular game.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely not a AAA title.
No, it is not. And it is a proper fun game though, and I'm really enjoying it. What I do really like about the game is more than enough to keep me going, regardless of like any little nitpicks possibly somebody could find of it. It's just not even a thing to me. It's you can't hold it to the same standard as like a AAA title. It's not a AAA title. It's WB Games putting out a Lego game. But I think people know what they're getting into. But I would recommend it if you enjoy the other Lego games, and particularly if you're me and you feel like the Lego Marvel games have been so plentiful in the last couple of years, and the last time we got a Lego DC game was a while back with Lego Batman 3, which is a very good game, I need to add. It's very good game. But it's kind of the last of like the those older style Lego games, it doesn't play like this one. It does not have an open world.
Yeah, it just has multiple. It's like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. It plays a lot more like Lego Star Wars, which of course was fine for the time. It came out in like 2012 or something.
Just we're an open world land now.
We're very much beyond the style of Lego game that was. And there's been 3 Lego Marvel games of this new style of game in between. Like the first Lego Marvel Superheroes, you could just fly around a Lego version in New York, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then I think you could do a similar thing in Lego Avengers. And then now with Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, which I believe came out last year, the game it's pretty much the Marvel equivalent of Lego Supervillains. But you have a huge open world, bunch of diverse kind of different style locations, all kind of taken from different Marvel comics. And what they did in that game was they created kind of a place that was kind of like Battle World, where they jammed a bunch of kind of 616 and alternate universes, together into one place. So like Wakanda is like sitting next to Asgard, all this shit like that. Like it was like some cosmic entity combined all the universes into one location, which is a really cool premise for a Marvel game.
Just Sonic Generations. A time monster made it happen.
Basically, that's what they did. I think it was Kang the Conqueror, actually, who is literally like a time traveling villain, so it makes sense. But
his stand is too strong.
It was really, he's got a powerful stand, all right. The stand is called I'm Reed Richards' really, really long off descended ancestor. And the only way that you could ever beat me is if Reed Richards fucking commits suicide.
So good luck with that, bro.
Exactly. There's no way to beat him.
Hello.
The way they always beat him tends to be like I guess they convince him that what he's doing is bad. Like it's a bad idea.
You should probably kill yourself, bro.
Yeah, they appeal to like his sense of ethics. That's kind of usually how they beat that character.
Fair enough.
But I'm really enjoying it so far. So that's kind of what I've been playing, just Delta Rune and that.
That's good. You watch anything?
I watched things. I did actually get into watching Castlevania Season 2.
Yeah.
So I'm 6 episodes in.
Oh, you're right. I'm right before the fucking fight scene. So also, correction, I said it was Vampire Slayer, but it's Bloody Tears.
Bloody Tears, okay. Name. But very, very good series. I mean, the first season of Castlevania is stellar television.
Yeah, it's really good. The thing with season 2, the start that kind of made me worried a bit was the animation was a little choppy, but they were clearly just saving budget.
Yeah, because
it was already way more colorful than the first season.
There was a lot more noticeable detail on like not just the background art, but the character designs are like, not that they were sparse in the first season, but there's a more complex kind of lighting to them and more complex palette and shapes and colors.
Yeah.
So they're just really, really nice, meticulously designed characters. They look very, very good.
So episode 6, that means... Did Carmilla already be Carmilla? Did she do the thing with
She's
the water?
nearly there, I'm pretty sure.
Did you see the water thing?
I think I did. I think I know what you're talking about. I don't want to spoil anything quite yet.
Yeah.
But just in case you say too much or I say too little.
We'll do a spoiler cast when you finish it.
It's really, really good. I think the thing I most enjoyed about this season so far is how in-depth they get into the internal politics of vampire society.
Yes.
There is very good world building going on in this show. And it is not slow and mechanical like world building can be when done badly. It is really, really remarkably good and diegetic.
The one thing I wish is that more of the vampire generals would have spoken.
Yeah, or if they had done a little more.
Carmilla, because, besides Godbrand and Carmilla, no one really spoke. None
of the vampire generals did, but I feel like anything that they could have said was probably filtered through Godbrand and Carmilla anyway. Like they kind of represent the two sides of that court of vampires, where Godbrand is kind of representing the side of the court that wants to just kind of go and cause bloody mayhem.
Yeah.
And Carmilla is more part of the side that wants to plan something and kind of usurp Dracula.
And actually do shit.
Yeah, exactly. She has like a set idea of what she wants to do. She has ambitions beyond just killing.
Yeah.
You know? So I guess that kind of makes sense. It's the two sides of the conflict that's playing out in their court. And then you have Hector and Isaac, who are really interesting characters.
Yeah, they are.
They're the only...
Hector is an innocent little cinnamon roll.
Who just likes to make dead animals.
Oh, God. His pets.
and Isaac is like a crazy Christian guy who beats himself with a studded belt.
Yeah.
And I think he's gay. I guess they hinted at him being gay.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
when he expressed to his master in his flashback that he was in love with him.
Oh yeah.
I think they were just straight up saying, yeah, Isaac is gay.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
cool.
Possible.
But I mean, he's these two characters are the only two humans in Dracula's court.
Yeah.
Which is
And
already
they both fake it. I love it so much because Dracula's like, I fucking love these guys because they hate humans like more than I do.
Yeah. They do actually, yeah. Well, at least at the very least Isaac does.
Isaac super does.
Isaac fucking hates humanity and he wants humanity to fucking die.
Yeah.
And Hector kind of thinks of humanity as much lesser than any other kind of
Yeah.
being.
Well, Isaac says it a couple of times where he's like, Hector just sees them as pets, whereas
Yeah.
like I want them dead.
Dead, yeah, exactly. And Dracula is kind of ambivalent because he's so I don't know if it's that he's so consumed with it or so tired of having to deal with humanity that he's almost become apathetic to the means of which he takes his revenge upon
Honestly,
them.
I think it's at this point it's a mix of rage because they fucking murdered his goddamn wife, and I think he's just tired of everything because I think it's in the next episode or something. And just at some point he's like, I'm fucking done. Just do it. I don't care. I just want it to be over. If
It's
it'll
like
have you shut up.
He
then
wants it
fucking
done,
do
but his
it.
heart's not in it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Because what can he do now? What can he say? I mean, there must be some kind of conflict of morality and ethics and going on in his head. Because on one hand, everything that he ever believed about humanity was seemingly proven wrong by his wife.
Yeah. But on the other hand,
exactly.
it was also
and
proven
he
right.
must have somewhat believed in the potential of humanity for good if he never chose to turn his wife into a vampire. Which is interesting to me. But on the other hand, he's so blinded by rage. Is that what's making him seek out his revenge on humanity? Or is there really a hatred for humanity under there? Or is there anger at himself for not being able to protect his wife?
That answer,
despite being a fucking immortal vampire.
That answer kind of lays in the end of this season.
Well, I'm interested in seeing where it goes because right now
I'm not going to tell you.
There's a lot of interesting conflict just occurring throughout the show, and that's
and
not
it's
to
not
say,
even just on Dracula either. There's Hector is kind of lining up to just be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Isaac seems pretty hell-bent on his whole like
Isaac seems like he's
Isaac's locked in.
Exactly. He's kind of siding with, I want to say, the side of the court that is ambitious, overly ambitious. Like he seems to be not enamored with or tricked by Carmilla. He's too smart to be tricked by Carmilla.
And that's why she went for
exactly, which is why she went for Hector. But he's sympathetic, I think, to her feelings towards Dracula, even though he's also loyal to Dracula, like seemingly unwaveringly so. But maybe he just feels like he needs to be the one to give Dracula the push to do what he knows needs to be done, that he knows what Dracula knows needs to be done.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And that's not to say anything about the main characters of the show.
Yeah,
because these characters get a lot more screen time, even more so than Trevor Belmont and Saifa and Alucard.
Yeah.
Who play a big part in the series, no doubt, because they are, for all intents and purposes, the show's protagonists.
Yeah, but at the same time, I really like that they don't get as much screen time because the whole narrative comes from what the fuck is going on in the vampire
Exactly.
court.
What's fucking going on with Dracula?
Like, we already know what's going on with Saifa and Trevor and Alucard. They're trying to fucking kill Dracula.
Exactly.
That's
and they
all
need
you
to find out how to do it. So
you get little tidbits of that and little bonding moments.
Yeah, and you hear a lot about kind of how the Belmonts or what they were doing kind of before their line was extinguished by vampires. But you can kind of get an idea of the conflict that's lining up where it's these two old rivalries of Belmont and Dracula, Belmont and vampire kind in general, and the absolute disdain that they feel towards the Belmonts. I honestly cannot wait to see what happens when the realization is made that Alucard has allied himself with the Belmonts.
Yeah,
because that seems like set up for a really engaging conflict. Like
you're one episode away.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait to watch this.
But
I mean, as far as adaptations of games go, you
yeah,
couldn't ask for anything better.
The narrative's great. The way the characters are developed.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like it's not so much episode fight, conclusion. It's like here's the whole setup for the end of the season fight.
Yeah.
Like there's some little fighting scenes, but like the whole the setup is great.
There's so much good going on. If you haven't watched Castlevania yet,
Do
yourself a favor. It is so good.
Yeah.
It's far better than it deserves to be, honestly. With the track record of Konami in terms of like shilling out things for adaptation.
I said it last week, man. Like the best thing to come out of fucking Konami
in ever
since
almost.
They fucking fired Kojima, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. He was kind of the last person in the company making worthwhile content. They fucking kicked his ass out, and they're just kind of content making pachinko machines now.
Silent Hill Pachinko.
Exactly, or Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Pachinko, which is a real thing.
Oh, no.
And the Pachinko animations.
Or Metal Gear Survive.
The Metal Gear Pachinko animations are better than the cutscenes in the HD remaster of the game. That's the biggest fuck you ever.
Oh my god, Konami.
Fuck Konami so badly. Ugh, they suck. Konami fucking sucks.
Meanwhile, you got the Japanese businessman at that pachinko machine like, this is the best.
Those guys up in their fucking Zaibatsu headquarters just being like, this is all very good because we are making money and that is all that matters. It's kind of sad how shrewdly business-like that company has become. When they used to be, you know, for all intents and purposes, the patrons of like one of gaming's biggest auteurs. Mm-hmm. Now they are nothing without him. It's very clear.
Yeah, Koji was holding that shit together.
Exactly. I don't know if it's to say he knows what he's doing, but he's doing something.
He's doing something and he's doing it well.
Exactly.
What is it? Whatever. Death Stranding is.
It's his Mads Mikkelsen Mpreg fantasy.
Man, I'm so excited for Death Stranding just because it is Koji Unleashed.
It is. It's
like,
the most
he had so many restraints
in thing ever made.
At Konami, he had so many constraints and probably people being like, "You can't do that."
Yeah,
the fact that they let
shit like breeze through the skin pass it's clear it was only because it could be sold as fan service.
Oh man,
you know, with all that bullshit that he usually writes into his games. Yeah, he was on like a leash.
Yeah.
Now this is just him making whatever the fuck he wants.
I'm so goddamn excited for that game. I need
insane.
A PS4.
Yeah. I'm buying a PS4 for Death Stranding. That shit looks amazing.
If they make a bundle, I'm fucking in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, that's kind of what I watched in terms of Castlevania.
Fair enough.
I did explore some other annals of television. I did watch another episode of Titans, the latest episode. Continues to be good. I don't know what to say about this because every time I talk about it, I'm just like, man, it's just a miracle. It's a miracle the show's even good, let alone that I can actually say shit about it, you know? But that it's an enjoyable piece of media is remarkable to me. So I'm always kind of consistently floored by it. And this episode in particular was really noteworthy because, as far as I'm aware, this is the first live-action adaptation of the Doom Patrol to ever appear. And these characters are awesome. They look and feel and act just like how I would imagine the Doom Patrol to act. This is the Gerard Way version of the Doom Patrol, I should say. So the most recent, I want to say, iteration of the team, which includes Elastigirl, or Elasti-Woman, I guess they call her in this, Elasti-Woman. No relations to the Incredibles character. Although, actually, to be fair, when they made the Incredibles, they actually had to license the name Elastigirl from DC.
Wow.
But that's another reason why you'll never see the name Elastigirl used in marketing for products of the character Elastigirl from the Incredibles. And that's why it always says
they don't
Mrs.
want the
Incredible.
fucking royalties.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to have to pay DC royalties, so they do that. And that's how they get away with it. But DC agreed they could use the name as long as they don't use it in marketing or else they'd have to pay royalties. So yeah, that's pretty cool. DC. But anyway, the Doom Patrol are a cool cast of characters. They're the closest thing I want to say that... Yeah, they're probably the close... In terms of just kind of the way that they're treated by the world of DC Comics, the closest thing DC has to the X-Men.
Okay.
So they're, especially the original
So
X-Men.
like the evil X-Men?
They're not evil. They're good guys, but a lot of them are very damaged individuals who, are outcasts, shunned by society. So the team that we're introduced to in this episode of Titans consists of Robot Man, who's a former race car driver that, after getting into an accident, basically was destroyed, save for his brain. And
so they shove that shit in a robot?
Exactly. So the person who's responsible for overseeing the Doom Patrol is a medical doctor named Niles Calder. And Niles Calder's kind of a sinister figure in DC Comics because, on one hand, while he is kind of the patriarch of this kind of family of characters, the Doom Patrol, he's been known to kind of be villainous in the comics at times. And his ambition and kind of desire to kind of make great medical breakthroughs drives him to do really morally things. Yeah. So on one hand, he saved tons of people's lives, but on the other hand, the intent behind saving their lives is not necessarily because he gives a shit about them. Although to an extent, I think he does. But he's a very morally gray character, and he's played by Bruno Bashir in this episode of Titans. But the premise of this episode, essentially, so leaving off where the last episode ended, Raven was locked away in a seminary by nuns, the seminary that she was actually born at when she was younger and that her mother and her stayed at for
Small
a while.
world.
She was locked in the seminary, but Gar, who's Beast Boy, who met her in the previous episode, followed her to that seminary and breaks her out of the room that she's trapped in. And together with him, he brings her to the mansion that he lives in, which is the mansion of the Doom Patrol. So this is his family. The episode begins with a flashback to like what happened to Gar to give him his powers. So his parents were primatologists. From the looks of it, a Japanese and American primatologist, because the actor who plays him is half Japanese. But they were primatologists studying, primates in Africa, and they were killed, I think, by the same disease that Gar had that was killing him, like a rare African disease. And Bruno Bashir's character, after seeing that everybody else was going like there's no way you could save him, broke into the medical tent that he was stationed at and saved his life with a serum. But that serum inadvertently transformed him into Beast Boy. And they kind of give like a hand-wavy explanation as to how his powers exactly work. But it's honestly not really it's not really that important.
Yeah.
They just kind of speculate on how his powers work. So they're like, they think that he has the ability to kind of mold and shift his DNA.
I mean, that's probably a thing they're going to elaborate more on later on.
I think they will, as they discover his powers. They might even talk about it in the Doom Patrol series, which is going to spin off of Titans.
Yeah.
But this is, so not only is this kind of an interesting introduction to these characters, but it's also a backdoor pilot for the already announced Doom Patrol TV series. The other members of the Doom Patrol, apart from Robot Man, Cliff Steele, are Negative Man, who is an Air Force pilot who is hit by a wave of negative energy that basically...
Them bad vibes.
How to describe it? Pushed his soul out of his body, so now he kind of has the ability to project himself out of his body, which is kind of a really... He's basically uncontained negative energy personified into a figure, which is cool. So that's kind of his ability. So he kind of looks like the Invisible Man, where he's all wrapped up in bandages. He wears like a kind of a house coat and sunglasses. So he looks very heavily bandaged. He's got gloves, all that sort of stuff. And then the other character we're introduced to is Elastawoman, who is she's a famous Olympian turned actress from like the 1940s, who, while on set in Africa on location for a movie, fell into a river that they were filming nearby. And the volcanic gases from the nearby volcano in the river somehow mutated her body and kind of changed her into this amorphous blob that can basically shape itself into any shape and change its size, change its density. I know. They kind of give only a slight hint as to how it happened.
Yeah.
But suffice it to say, all these characters are rather damaged. Like, both Robot Man and Negative Man can't really live in regular human society. And even though Elasti-Woman can disguise herself and make herself look like she did when she was in the 40s as a film actress,
she's essentially just a blob.
She's just kind of a blob, and it's very hard for her to maintain that form, the integrity of that form for a long time. Yeah, because
it takes an energy.
Exactly. So they're kind of holed up in the mansion that is owned by Calder, and Gar lives with them. He's like the youngest member of their team. But what happens is, Gar brings Raven to the mansion to hang out and to, I guess, keep her safe. And he initially, I think, plans to kind of keep her away from the rest of the Doom Patrol, but Robot Man figures out pretty quickly what the hell's going on. Fun thing, Robot Man is played by, or I should say, voiced by Brendan Fraser.
Oh shit! Yeah, you said this last time.
And he's really good in the role. I mean, I like Brendan Fraser. I've always liked him as an actor.
He was the best Tarzan ever.
Yeah, exactly. And he wasn't even Tarzan.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't.
He was George of the Jungle.
Yeah, same.
But he was good. Well, it pretty much is.
Yeah,
it's basically just a parody of Tarzan. But he's really fun in the role.
I can't believe I thought that was actually just straight up Tarzan. Like I
mean,
believed
it's Disney
in my heart
too, so
yeah,
the association is pretty hard to break.
I guess they were like, look, we want to make a Tarzan movie that's goofy, but we can't use the Tarzan name because Phil Collins will get mad.
I think George of the Jungle is based on an old cartoon, actually, which was like an intentional parody of Tarzan. Like the original Tarzan novels by William Burroughs, and I guess the movies that kind of spun off of it. But it's like a parody of that kind of style of like white man in Africa, wild man story, which is,
raised by
monkeys.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no, a lot of dots are connecting right now.
Just like I'm just imagining like a Gmod render of a monkey looking really disappointed. But that's kind of how I feel right now, thinking about the unfortunate connotations of that sort of fiction.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, it's kind of whack, right? It's clearly a little bit whack.
Yeah.
But that's how it be occasionally. And
white people be white people.
White people be like that, unfortunately.
Wow. Those dots really just connected.
Damn.
25 years.
Boy, that's
ignorance.
That's weird.
But anyway,
yeah. So I guess coming back around, most of the episode just kind of serves to introduce you to the Doom Patrol and understand kind of what they're all about. But it works because it's also kind of seeing why it is they stick together, why it is that they kind of have a loyalty and trust of Calder despite his murky kind of methods. Because I mean, all of these procedures that were performed on these characters
super
explicitly
illegal.
Non-consensual too.
Oh well.
Yeah, none of these characters clearly asked to be saved by Calder. Beast Boy was literally injected without his consent, and you see it happen.
Just
and
like
you can assume the same of Robot Man, Negative Man, and Elasti-Woman. But it's really interesting. Just to kind of see how they work in live action, because they work remarkably well. They're very odd characters, and their villains are very odd too. They have they literally have a villain team called the Brotherhood of Dada, which are basically like a group of absurdist supervillains. And the main character is what's his name is like Mr. Oh, it's basically he's two-dimensional. Like that's his thing. He's a two-dimensional person, which is. That's kind of the weird, obscure sort of shit that they're doing.
Yeah.
Because those original Doom Patrol characters come from a Grant Morrison Doom Patrol comic from the 80s, which is a notoriously psychedelic and absurd comic.
Yeah.
Really, really good comic, but very much Grant Morrison. So it's like, it's practically like an art comic, right? And it reads like it. But these versions of the characters remind me more of the Gerard Way versions of the Doom Patrol, which are from the most recent run of the comic, which Gerard Way wrote for his DC imprint Young Animal, which is a really good group of comics that sadly
Did not know Gerard Way was a mega nerd.
Not just a mega nerd, but he actually, before he was even a musician, was selling comic books, worked at a comic book store. And he was always an artist. His art's really good too. If you look at the concept art, it's really good.
It's really fucking good.
He even wanted to pitch an animated series to Adult Swim at one point, but they thought it was too similar to Aqua Teen.
Nah.
which is a pity. But I like Aqua Teen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gerard Way is a really talented dude, and yeah, he was running his own imprint at DC called Young Animal for the last couple of years, putting out a lot of really good and subversive comics from a diverse range of really talented authors, including himself. He wrote a couple of them.
As you do.
Yeah, exactly. They're very much, I think, of the tradition that is Grant Morrison stuff, and you can see in his other comics, like if you read Umbrella Academy. Umbrella Academy is very much like Doom Patrol. The kind of characters, the way they're treated by society, they're kind of outcasts. They have a patriarchal figure who kind of had, you know, a dually malevolent and kind of kind presence in their lives. You know, as much as he was a surrogate father to a lot of them, that character in Umbrella Academy is also kind of sinister and had ulterior motives that they kind of had to learn to discern later on as adults. But it's nice to see that his version of the team is the version they've adapted, because they're very, very good characters. And this episode was great. The rest of the episode was mostly just kind of Robin and Starfire, I guess, learning to work together to figure out what the heck has happened to Raven, because they hear that there was a fucking explosion and breakout at the seminary they just left her at. And they go back only to realize, oh shit, she is gone. And so they need to go find her, and they track her down to Niles Calder's place. And there is more stuff in this episode of Dick kind of going over the edge with people. So it seems like they're really building up this idea of Dick Grayson just becoming more and more violent and aggressive, and just a much more vicious kind of person.
Yeah.
And in this episode, the example of, I suppose, they give of this is, in order to figure out where Raven has been taken, they need to go and talk to a hunter that kind of ran into her and Gar in the woods. And they were scared off by Gar when he turned into a tiger. But it's not hard to find people complaining to police about finding a purple-haired girl and a green tiger in the woods. So like that can only be Raven. They go to one of the guys and they think that maybe, or Dick, I guess, just violently jumps on the guy and starts beating the shit out of him in front of his kid.
Sick.
And Starfire is just there like, what the fuck is your problem?
Bruh.
Yeah, which is, I guess a lot of people, one of the things they assumed about the show is that it would be excessively violent, but without making a commentary on the violence. And that's not how it is. The show is definitely trying to say something about the kind of person Dick is becoming because of his desire to just divorce himself entirely from Bruce Wayne and from the legacy of being Batman's
He's trying too hard to not be Batman. He's becoming the Joker.
Well, pretty much, yeah. He in his attempt to be less like Bruce, which I guess in terms of what he thinks means kind of pushing the people he loves away, he's pushing the people he loves away. And it's shitty and unfortunate, and I feel really, it's a very sympathetic portrayal of the character. I feel extremely bad for him because it's clear what he's trying to do, but he's not going about it the right way. Yeah. And you feel bad for him. So, it's just so far Titans has been really good. But I think apart from all that shit, that's kind of what I did. I just had a lot to I had a lot to say about the very few things
we went off on what did we go? Delta Rune for a bit too.
A couple tangents. Yeah. What about you?
My week was mostly I played a little bit more of Red Dead, not too much because I dove deep into the JOJO hole.
Oh, the JOJO.
So I finished Diamond is Unbreakable, and I'm now on episode 3 of Ventorio. Yeah. Golden Wind.
Golden Wind. Whenever they say it in English, it just makes me think of a fart. It's
bad.
It just makes me think of a fart.
JoJo's Bizarre Fart Venture.
I'd watch it.
I am watching it.
Some Brazilian fart porn.
Oh, no. Put your ass on that cake and let loose.
Oh, boy. All right, so yeah. You have many things to say about JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo's fucking great. It keeps getting better. Part 4, so far my favorite. Josuke's dope. Cheap Trick is a scary ass stand, and I don't like that at all.
It's really scary.
Like the idea of having just something whispering bullshit in your ear they can also talk to people and be like, "Hey, fuck you," and you're like, "It wasn't me. It was the thing on my back." And they're like, yeah, okay, fuck you.
Yeah, sure, you asshole.
It's fucking. That's a crazy stand power. So yeah, we're just fair warning. Spoilers.
JoJo spoiler
for
cast. Let's
Diamond
go.
is unbreakable.
I mean, it's been out for I guess what, a year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But it's still
not
nice to
too
be
much
like,
of a spoiler.
hey, just.
And I mean, how long is the?
Because I mean,
manga
like,
been
I
out?
just finished it last night.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you never know. Anyway.
Yeah. The most climactic, anticlimactic ending that has ever existed.
Yeah, in all of manga.
So good. I can't believe that it was just. Oh no, the try. Oh.
So I guess
there's the biggest bad is gone.
For context, the entire final little arc of the manga is just
Groundhog Day.
It's an extended chase sequence played over multiple days, kind of like Groundhog Day, where every day Kira, the main villain of the series, is resetting the day back.
Yeah.
So every time they've cornered him or they're close to victory, he can just evade them just as easily as he got to the situation where they got him.
Yeah.
And
he uses a Hayako. Hayako, yeah.
And so, I guess the main cast of the show finally figures out a way to break the cycle that his stand is causing.
Well, I mean, Hayako just calls Josuke and makes him not be late for the fucking meetup.
Yeah, exactly.
And that just fucking throws his entire plan out of whack, because now Josuke is just like, hey, you just said your name out loud, bud.
But this whole scenario pretty much, like, I guess facilitates the last little battle of the series, which is just them fucking the town up real bad.
Yeah.
So just the main cast fighting throughout the whole little town of Morio.
Blowing up buildings.
Taking, like, shelter behind, like, the damaged walls of, like, people's homes.
Yeah.
Going in and out of people's fucking residences and shit. Just launching fucking strategic attack after attack at each other.
Yeah. Man, Bites the Dust is a OP as fuck stand power. God damn. I can't...
It's just the
and
ability
especially
to
the fact that he
reset
can just
fucking
activate it and be like, all right, we're doing this
Bye.
until I don't want to do this anymore.
Exactly. But I guess
I'm really relieved that the casualty count is a lot less high than fucking Stardust was.
Part 4 is one of the only parts I can think of where pretty much everybody who matters lives.
Yeah.
You know? There is casualties in it, but they're
very minor.
They're minor. They're
one's
like
gonna miss Harvest.
Exactly. Yangu. Nobody cares about Harvest. It's a cool stand, but nobody cares about that guy.
Yeah,
he was kind of a weirdo, and he was
annoying.
Like he's like a one-off character until he's just unceremoniously murdered by Kira. But I guess he played more of a role in the story after he died than he did when he was alive, which is kind of sad. But I guess suffice it to say, yeah, it's one of the more tame JoJo series in terms of like the overall casualty.
Yeah,
there's a lot more allies in this season.
There is. It's a whole goddamn squad.
It's kind of like the opposite of some of the previous kind of ones where it's usually like it kind of ends with most of the allies being dead and the big bad kind of just dominating the main characters until they figure out a way out.
Until like they barely escape.
Exactly.
Whereas
this one where the bad is so...
Well, everyone almost died.
Exactly.
It almost got really bad when I guess it's the before last episode when the shit actually goes down and he attempts to reactivate Bites the Dust, and it just kind of ends on him being like, Bites of the Dust, and it fucking he teleports, and then the next episode starts and she's like, you're dead though.
Yeah.
You didn't restart the day you done goofed. And just the scene of them all standing around him after he gets fucking punched in by fucking Star Platinum.
That shit was brutal.
Yeah.
That was fucking brutal.
It's good. I still really like the whole when they're fighting Sheer Heart Attack, the fucking minute long aura. Yeah. So good.
It's just a really, really good last arc of the series.
Yeah.
The series is really like 3 distinct
I think it's one
arcs.
of my favorite villains in like any media.
I don't know a lot of people who consider, like, at least a lot of really hardcore JoJo fans who consider part 4 to be their favorite part.
Yeah.
But I do know for a fact that almost all of them consider Kira to be their favorite villain.
Yeah, Kira's a fucking...
He's Patrick Bateman mixed with David Bowie, mixed with, like, Hannibal Lecter. He's a fucking weird...
Sociopath.
He's
who just
really
wants a quiet life.
He's really charming.
Yeah.
He's very superficial.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, like, completely self-absorbed.
Yeah.
But he's such a magnetic presence because he's such a good foil to the main character.
Yeah, and I feel he's really well developed because he is very just, like, look, I just want to live. I want to hold my hands in my little shirt pocket. I just want to keep my hands until they're rotten.
Yep.
I don't want to have to deal with anyone knowing who I am. Mm-hmm. And if you know who I am, then I'll just explode you out of existence.
Exactly. Which is, he's living like kind of the perfect situation for somebody who is a serial killer.
Yeah.
Where he can eliminate evidence really easily.
Really easily.
Yeah. And
almost too easily.
Well, exactly. It's scary. He's kind of the last person you'd want to have a stand.
Mm-hmm.
But he's such a good foil.
I
to the
feel like
characters.
Araki made him went, fuck, this guy's too strong, and was like, just run him over.
Yeah, exactly.
Just run him over. We need to get rid of him.
Really, really, really kind of silly ending.
Like, I laughed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just fucking went, shut the fuck up.
It is really funny.
It's so dumb.
He's just
I
lying
love
there
it
on the
so
ground.
much.
The nurse is kind of leaning over him.
He was gonna use bites the dust on the nurse to restart the day so that this shit doesn't go down.
And then
a fucking ambulance that's brake wasn't on, or like was just backing up.
Yeah, backed up just on his
backed
fucking
up
head,
right onto his head,
killing him instantly. It is an anticlimax. It really is.
It really is.
But
the way they do it too, I don't know how it goes down in the manga, but the way they do it in the show, where like it looks like he reactivates, bites the dust, and then he's just in the alleyway with what's her name? The girl he murdered.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name right now. But anyway, he's just there, and he's like, I did it, and she's like, what are you talking about?
And then he gets dragged to hell.
Yeah.
Which is horrifying. It was a really good ending.
It's really good.
Honestly stellar.
And then the cleanup of like, oh yeah, the town, pretty much everyone had a normal summer, but we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, bizarre summer.
And it's super, like it was super sad to me that Hayaki's mom was like, oh, I'm gonna wait for your dad to get home. He was like, I'll wait too.
Yeah, shit, he's dead.
Yeah. But also to me was weird because it's like, how did like no one told? Because like he just got ran over by a fucking truck. Like you can be like, yeah, all right. The other ones that were killed by stands or something. Maybe
the body as Kira. Maybe because I think he just had his face, didn't he? He didn't have the same body. Because when Cinderella changed his...
he just changed his face. So I guess...
He would have identified as...
Yeah, as Kira.
Yeah, but that's and crazy.
Anyway, it's a super small
He would have just been Kawajiri, I guess, if they had done a DNA test on who he was. And they would have never found the body of the real Kosaku Kawajiri.
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
Well, I mean... No, because they confirmed that Kira's body was found in Cinderella.
Oh, yeah, okay, so they did find Kawajiri's body as Kira's.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
It's just
anime,
that didn't even think of.
It's like it's like if we're talking about how the meter rule.
Yeah.
In Stardust, when you first see Star Platinum and fucking Jotaro has all these fucking things in his cell, and it's like, but Platinum's like range is 3 meters. How do you get all this shit?
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's
sometimes
it's too nitpicky on details.
Rules,
yeah, exactly.
But it's fine. Like it's enjoyable still to read and watch his stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But yeah, just what a really stellar kind of and strange ending.
Yeah,
to a very bizarre show.
No idea. Didn't see it coming. And could not have guessed that at all.
What did you think of that special version of Great Days?
So good.
Yeah,
they brought all the old singers back,
yeah.
and I was just so man.
Very, very cool.
Very rad.
That's and the thing that they did in the previous episode where they played the second half of the song back and they rewind time.
Yeah. When it's going
JoJo
through,
does so many cool things.
It's so good. I love it.
I mean, in part 3, right in that last episode where they're
the
playing,
world.
Yeah.
That part's the best. I like
That's
once the
crazy.
world's introduced and like it stops time in the song. I was like, yeah,
It was amazing.
so good.
It's unbelievably
The only
nice.
time I didn't like it was when they did the EDM version of Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town.
I like that version. It's funny.
I've,
It's not as good as the original.
No,
version.
no, Crazy Noisy is my favorite intro song so far.
It's good. It's really, really good. I like Chase as well, though.
Chase
'Cause it
was
kinda
really
feels
good.
like a Bleach
Chase is a
opening.
super second one.
Yeah, it's like a Bleach opening.
Yeah.
It's a punk song. Like, it's not what you would assume a JoJo opening would be, because all of them are at least kind of tangentially jazzy.
Yeah.
You know, except for Stand Proud and
Sono Chino Sadame.
yeah, but everything else is pretty much jazz.
Yeah.
I mean, Bloody Stream is jazz. Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town has that horn section going for it, so it's kind of like a funk song.
Yeah.
soul
Fighting
funk.
Gold isn't though.
No, Fighting Gold's more like a rock song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I guess, a little more similar.
I
to
mean, it's
Stand
Coda.
Proud.
It's Coda. So.
Yeah, it's Coda, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
horny
not the
and
same
jazzy.
as Bloody Stream. That's
Not
the
at
thing.
all.
That's what I was surprised when I saw that it was also Coda. I was like,
And I mean,
Oh.
it was written, the song itself, by the songwriters who wrote A Cruel Angel's Thesis, which actually makes a lot of sense if you
Yeah.
look at the way the lyrics are. But very, very cool. JoJo's good.
yeah.
JoJo's so
I'm
fucking
getting
good.
caught up with that, and that was pretty much my entire week. Started to be more focusing on a single game because I've been spread really thin on games, so I'd
Yeah.
be playing like 15 minutes of one, and then I'm not making any progress in any of them.
Which is hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really annoying. So I've decided to buckle down on Bravely Default.
Yeah, okay.
So I started that like yesterday. I didn't really get any further. I'm in the dungeon right outside of the clock town where the thief is.
So the
first like
yeah, the Thief's Cavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So you're about to get that Thief's ass kissed,
yeah.
basically.
So next week, I'll probably have something to say about that.
Nice.
If not, gonna be playing a lot of Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And also watch Zombieland Saga.
I watched the first episode. I liked it a lot.
It's really fucking fun, dude.
You're right about it being straight up just an idol show.
It's just a stupid idol show. It's really dumb.
But I'm watching the dub too, and it's a good dub.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a really good dub.
I
actually.
didn't see the dub.
It's well done. It's well cast.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun with that. Like, I don't think I'm gonna like religiously watch it, but like it's fun waking up in the morning and like eating my eggs and bacon.
Yeah,
Just having stupid zombie shenanigans.
It's
happen.
fun. It's a really fun.
They
show.
they do really fun things with it. Far.
I did watch one good anime this week. I kind of watched a bit of it in Japanese, but I heard the dub was coming out, and I liked the dub cast, so I decided to kind of retread and start watching it on the dub.
Okay.
It's Bloom Into You.
Yeah.
It's a very cute Yuri series, but it's about I guess she's like a high school freshman who goes into high school and is she's just kind of she knows she's familiar with love, and she has these ideas about what love should be and what it should feel like.
Yeah, because of her mangoes.
Exactly. She reads a lot of manga, and she listens to a lot of audio dramas and music.
Yeah.
And just she thinks she has a fairly good idea of what it's supposed to be like when a boy confesses to you.
Falls in love with a goddamn girl because she's a
Exactly.
big old gay.
Or not so much her falling in love with her, it's this girl falls in love with her.
And she confesses the love, but then she like rolls it back.
Exactly.
I
what
watched
happens?
the first episode.
Yeah, it's very sweet, and it's just cute.
Yeah.
And from what I know of the series, and kind of from what I watched earlier in Japanese, it's a slow burn romance. The characters do, in the end, it's like it has a happy continuation as far as like the manga goes.
Yeah.
It's really, really it's a really sensitive and conscious portrayal of a Yuri relationship without a lot of the, I guess, uncomfortable baggage that comes with like the reputation of Yuri as a genre.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people maybe don't realize just how much Yuri is actually tailor-made for LGBTQ Japanese people, as opposed to the idea that it's made for fujoshi or perverted guys in the case of Yuri.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a
market.
Yeah, there's a large dirge, of course, of cis and straight Japanese women who are very into yaoi.
Yeah.
And the same can be said for cis straight guys both in Japan and North America
Yeah,
who are very into Yuri. But the way that these characters aren't sexualized, very explicitly not sexualized.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is the character designs are not
Yeah.
big ol' Yuri
No, not at all.
titties in your face.
The only conventions I can see of Yuri so far are the idea that one of the girls is taller and one of the girls is shorter, which is a big thing in a lot of relationship stuff anyway. So, and, you know, true of a lot of just real actual couples.
Yeah.
So
Humans have differing sizes.
exactly. So it's an interesting kind of series so far, and it's not the first good, like, you know, quality Yuri I've watched, but it's definitely one of the first super mainstream ones. You know, because, you know, you read stuff like I think it was Strawberry Panic, which I've liked, and there's like a whole bunch of good Yuri. Flip Flappers, which is really cute. And the other one that I really like, Amanchu, which is a diving, scuba diving series, but the main relationship in it is like a slow burn romance between the two main female characters. But it's mostly just kind of about the euphoria and love of the sport of scuba diving that they have. So it's a little more kind of reserved, I suppose. But really just a good show so far. So that's kind of that's the last kind of thing that I watched. And I'm excited to continue it in English because I really like the dub. It's good dub.
I'm going to check out the dub.
I recommend.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
So I think we should probably get on to the news.
Yes.
Because we have quite a bit of it, actually.
Let's start with my favorite one. They're rebooting Shrek. Yay.
Oh,
Soft
yeah.
reboot.
Illumination, I think, too, right?
Yeah.
So that's the studio behind
Minions.
Despicable Me and Minions.
Yeah. We're going to
And
get Minions Shrek.
the really cringy-looking new Grinch movie.
Oh, yeah, with Tyler, the Creator.
The Tyler, the Creator Grinch movie. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
What is this
like,
timeline? I listen.
Grinch.
Oh, it's just.
I'm the Grinch. Like, fuck. Dude.
What?
It's amazing.
It's so bad.
It's really bad. It's
the worst.
It's so funny, though. And it's clearly, you know, kind of the sort of thing Tyler would definitely want to do.
Yeah.
Like, if
I'm
there was
gonna go
anybody
see
who wanted
it.
him to score a movie, it would be like, he's like, I want to do an animated movie.
I want to do the Grinch.
I'm going to do the Grinch because I relate to the Grinch.
Because
So I'm going to do it.
I'm grumpy.
I don't like shit.
Get out of here.
Man, fuck Christmas.
Fuck Christmas. Fuck this movie, too. All right, so yeah, they're soft rebooting
soft
Shrek.
reboot of Shrek, which is kind of insane to me. I
not-
don't know how you could soft reboot
I don't know
Shrek.
what that means, honestly. Are they just remaking Shrek 1?
I think they're just going to make a new Shrek movie. Well, they don't necessarily have
Because-
to make an entirely original movie.
Was
I guess.
4 not enough?
Oh, which is ironic, too, because 4 is actually kind of good.
Is it?
Yeah,
I saw that the
ones
CG
that-
quality in
The ones that I
down, and was
dislike,
like,
I
fuck that.
remember from my experience watching them, the Shrek movies that I actively don't like are the first one
What?
and the third one.
The first
I
one?
like the second one, and I like the fourth one. I saw the fourth one in the theater, and I remember it actually being rather good.
I only like even numbers. Fuck this Shrek shit.
There we go. The Shrek movies are like Star Trek movies for me, even numbered only. Except that's not true of the Star Trek movies, because the first Star Trek movie actually kicks ass. People just are stupid and don't like good movies.
Oh, calling it out.
It's sorry. The hard truth is that Star Trek the Motion Picture kicks ass.
And you're wrong.
Not
you,
So
but-
that's really that's kind of interesting. I kind of want to see what they do.
I'm excited. I don't think excited is the right word. I'm curious.
Curious, yeah, morbidly curious.
I want to watch this train crash full of oil.
Exactly. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think it's a morbid curiosity. So PUBG.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if
guess we
anybody
can do
saw
that
this.
one.
This kind of seems like the sort of news that would fly under the radar.
This one, I think it was announced last night.
Something like that.
Night.
But basically,
So,
PlayerUnknown
in the
Battlegrounds
strangest
it has
team up.
introduced 2 new skins for its battle royale game. It is, and I'm not kidding, the Suicide Squad versions of Harley Quinn and Joker.
Of all the versions
Of all the versions of Harley Quinn and Joker, firstly, they choose the ones from the Suicide Squad movie.
It's probably they were probably talking to Warner
damaged
Brother.
tattoo and everything.
They were probably talking to Warner Brother, and Warner Brother's like, we haven't sold enough Suicide Squad movies. You gotta put this in there.
I mean, the movie was really
Oh my God,
financially
it
successful.
looks so stupid.
But it's so stupid and cringy.
We're watching the video right now.
Oh, it's bad. It's just...
It's
PUBG, but what if you played as the damaged Joker? Like, are you fucking kidding
sense. Me? Is there a map too? This looks. I don't
think there is.
I haven't played PUBG,
I think they're just skins, but it's fucking embarrassing, honestly. That in 2018, like years after the movies come out by this point.
Yeah,
that's 2 years ago. Suicide Squad came out, and they fucking decide that let's do it.
And this just means there's gonna be like. If this sells, because I don't even know how they're going to sell it. I guess it's like a DLC skin?
PUBG cross Suicide Squad. Jesus Christ.
The thing no one asked for or wanted.
Yeah.
This is for earlier, like 2 people.
This is for the DC fans who got really upset that they couldn't play as DC characters in Fortnite.
Yeah.
When they got the Marvel license to put Thanos in Fortnite, they were like, and they bitched and moaned until PUBG put the shittiest versions of the Joker and Harley Quinn into their game, their terrible game.
It's still, it's so old. The movie didn't come out recently.
No, it came out in 2016.
They could have done something more recent.
I know, but they chose not to. They could have chosen
because this feels like a marketing bull that just...
They could have put Black Manta from the new Aquaman movie into PUBG. He has guns.
No one knows who that is.
Fuck that.
But also, why are you putting superheroes in your fucking Battle Royale thing? Thanos didn't make any more sense.
It's in Fortnite, yeah, so what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous. The only people who liked that were the people who were like, ooh, Infinity War, also I play Fortnite.
Well, I mean, that's... where that one makes sense is that Infinity War had just came out, and they were like, "Hey, Thanos is in this Fortnite game that all the kids are playing."
We have our Thanos right here. Here's what we think of your Thanos, big edgy middle finger. Which is kind of what PUBG seems to be doing now in an attempt to kind of undermine Fortnite's popularity.
Yeah.
When they couldn't license the fucking concept of a battle royale game.
I can't believe we went 3 episodes without talking about Fortnite, though, and I'm proud of us.
Oh my God. Yeah, so
but I mean, this isn't even this is PUBG. I'm battle royale and
battle royale games, yeah. I'm sick and tired of their existence already. But there's clearly a market for them, so by all means play.
It's like the Call of Duty games.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always a market, and I don't understand it, and I will ignore it actively. If you like it,
speaking of markets, cool. I don't understand. But
the
mini fucking consoles.
Especially this one.
Yeah, so
this is
N64 Classic has
Unconfirmed.
apparently leaked, unconfirmed. They were saying it was going to be announced after the Smash Direct. It was not.
No.
But I mean, these rumors have been floating around, of course, since when the NES Classic came out, they were like SNES Classic. When the SNES Classic came out, now they're like N64 Classic.
Oh, we gotta do it. The PS Classic's coming out. So far, there is a list. Apparently, there's gonna be 30 games in all. The names so far on a list are, and this is why I think it's kind of fake, and we'll get into it after I name the list. Yeah. But you got The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time already on the 3DS. Why? What the fuck? Why would you play the shit version? You got Super Mario 64, which again has a pretty decent DS port.
It's also easy to just find on any fucking emulator.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like emulators because you have to find it.
Exactly, and now it's impossible to find.
Puyo Puyo Sun 64, but may not be on all versions. Could be just Japan. Gee, you think?
Yeah.
Banjo and Kazooie.
Yep.
Which also doesn't make sense because it's just on fucking Rare Replay, and again, a superior way to play the game.
Yeah, it is. It is. As much as it pains me to say that a Banjo Kazooie game is not as good on a Nintendo console compared to playing a port of that game on a Microsoft console, it is just better.
I don't understand. Like, this feels fake to me because this looks like a list that someone was like,
these are
what are the popular games?
Yeah. What are the most popular games? Puyo Puyo, yeah, probably.
Like,
that's a good game. Puyo Puyo Sun 64.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like fucking. I mean, I'm calling it now. The games that'll definitely be on it: Star Fox 64, Kirby 64.
They have to have Star Fox
Kirby
64
Crystal Shards, 100%.
I
see
hope
that being
so.
on there. They would have to. That game is like considered like the holy grail of Kirby games by a lot of people. So that's definitely gonna have to be on there. Especially actually since they just played heavy tribute to it in the last Kirby game. But yeah, probably GoldenEye if they could. You know,
I think the rights to that are too fucked up.
I don't know how fucked up the rights are because Microsoft has been expressing interest in doing rare release. Oh, yeah, this wouldn't be the same thing.
They rebooted the GoldenEye thing and it was garbage based off the movie.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? There's a really good Wii remake of it though.
Oh yeah,
that one's not bad. I played it with my friend. It was fun. GoldenEye. I think it's called GoldenEye.
Golden Wii.
GoldenEye for Wii, I guess, or something. Yeah. But I mean, it has like its own. It has like a remix of the GoldenEye theme and everything. But it's just kind of a. It's basically just GoldenEye, but what if Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan? It's the exact same game for the most part. It's fine. It's actually a fairly competent remake. But
I understand the pull for mini consoles because it's just. Like, it makes sense for hotels, doctor offices.
Of course.
Like, waiting room for kids shit. Like,
and they're not expensive. They're like,
exactly.
What? They're usually just under $100, most of them.
As long as Nintendo ships enough to make it fucking accessible and not like they did with the NES.
Holy fuck, the forced scarcity on that shit.
That and Amiibo.
That's fucking egregious.
It's disgusting.
It's fucking egregious, and all it does is make the secondary market more flooded with like expensive product.
Yeah,
like people, it's just you not getting your money. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they do that. The forced scarcity is bullshit.
Yeah, but Nintendo fucking always does the forced scarcity.
Yeah,
bullshit.
They do.
It's their entire marketing pool.
It is.
Except for their consoles that don't work. Wii U shipped plenty.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly. There we go. They were so confident in the Wii U, and I do think history will look kindly on the Wii U. But
I mean,
it remains to be seen.
The thing with the Wii U is that there are plenty of fucking amazing games on there.
Yeah.
But I think it didn't sell that well because a lot of people just thought it was an expansion for the Wii.
Exactly. And we're
also
like, well, I'll opt out of that thing.
Yeah. And like, I didn't want to hold a dinner plate while playing video games.
Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just firstly play Xbox with the Duke controller.
Yeah.
Which is practically like playing the fucking console.
I'll tape bricks to the Wiimote and it'll be more fun.
But it's just honestly, while I do think history will kind of look at the Wii U the way we kind of look at the Dreamcast. It's right now, we're still feeling kind of the aftermath of what Wii U's marketing did for Nintendo. I mean, the Switch has been a monumental success.
Oh man,
it's like the best-selling video game console in Japan right now, which is insane.
Again, the thing that happened with that was they undershipped.
Yeah,
but they undershipped with reason this time, I find, because the Wii U fucked them so hard.
Yeah,
that they were like, we don't want that to happen.
They were cautious this time, which is yeah.
But it's like Nintendo doesn't understand the market. It's like they don't pay attention to people online.
And I feel
when the Wii U was announced,
because they're a Japanese company, they feel like they don't need to think about what Westerners want in their games because they don't see the West as a market 100% viably the way that they do see Japan.
Yeah.
Which I suppose, makes sense because I guess if you were thinking about it in the context of an American company, how many American companies make games just for everybody
shit.
And not games that are totally disinclusive?
So speaking of the Switch, finally reached 22.86 million sold, surpassing the GameCube's lifetime sales.
Whoa!
Which is a fucking baffling.
Because this is about a year now. This console has really been on the
whereas
market.
the GameCube was one of the biggest bangers of a console of the early aughts.
Yes, it was.
So that's pretty crazy.
That's really good.
I wanted to also check the PS4 and Xbox One. Last time, I believe PS4 was sitting somewhere on 86 mil, and Xbox One was somewhere in like 30 mil.
I just remembered that bullshit with Activision Blizzard and the new Diablo mobile game.
Oh wait, let's.
Was that not just terrible?
I can't believe that shit happened.
Like, are you okay? Like, I guess
if we're talking about
yeah.
we're talking about companies not understanding their market.
Yeah.
Blizzard.
If we're talking about consumers not understanding what companies do all the time.
Yeah.
Like, people freaked the fuck out over this.
Yeah.
And
but I feel justifiably.
I feel like some of them are mad, but some of the bullshit that I saw really just kind of seems like entitled toxic fandom. Because a lot of it just kind of seemed like they were like, oh, you know what? Here's the thing I think a lot of them are missing out on. A lot of these people don't recognize that Blizzard's most popular game probably right now is Hearthstone, a mobile game.
Yeah, but I find it ridiculous to make a Diablo mobile game that is based off of a Chinese ripoff of Diablo.
That is definitely
It's got
weird.
the same UI,
Yeah.
and like they were teasing a bunch of Diablo shit, and people were getting hype, and they were like, "Fuck, Diablo 4 is coming. It's gonna be on PC. It's gonna be great." And not having any plans to port Immortal to PC even at all is ridiculous to me. And it seems to not. It seems like they don't know who their audience is, because the people who play Hearthstone on their phone or on their computer or whatever, the people who play Hearthstone, they're playing a card game, which on a mobile phone, Hearthstone fucking makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can get a match in while you're on the bus or whatever.
Is not quite the same
Diablo,
thing.
exactly. Like, because you look at your phone and it's a pretty small screen. That's whatever. You can probably fit shit onto there, but having your UI take up 1/4 of it, having the cooldowns there, and then if you're gonna have to be tapping where you're going all the time, that's just like, because Diablo is just click 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 click,
Exactly.
1 2 1 2,
which
click,
I think
1
just
2.
kind of describes in general the problem with, at least that I have with mobile gaming.
Yeah,
But I don't.
It's a terrible market.
Some of the games that come out for it are exploitive and bad, but and just they're low quality. It's shovelware.
Yeah.
Like
It's clones on top of clones
exactly.
on top of clones.
But
that's
on
why
the
people
on the other
reacted so
on the other
badly.
hand, though, there's a market for it. Casual gaming market is huge, and I feel like a lot of the backlash against this, while some of it justifiable, seemed to me as if a bunch of people were getting upset at the idea that filthy casuals were going to have a Diablo game.
I don't think it's filthy casuals will have a Diablo game. I think it's more the fact that I can't play my Diablo game the way I want to, because
that's fair. But
I've played
on that, would you want to play a truncated Diablo? Is this for you?
No,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. I don't get who it's for. I don't, because they're not gonna reach.
I do get who it's for.
I don't think they're
I'm
gonna
just
reach
not the person
anyone.
it's for.
I don't think they're gonna reach anyone who would.
I guess we'll just have to see when it comes out.
Yeah,
I guess
I just
there's no way you can really predict, I suppose, how successful it can be.
No, you're right.
But
I just think it's.
I definitely don't want to play the game, but I also don't object to it existing, I guess.
I object to its existence.
I definitely object to the way that some people are handling it, though, that's for sure. Because some of the vitriol I've seen has been really ugly.
Yeah, some of it's ridiculous.
Like which is the shit that makes me think that it's more of a reactionary kind of response than, a sincere one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like people are rightfully pissed because, like, again, there was a lot of Diablo talk, and when you think Diablo, you're not like, oh, it'll be on a phone, and the reaction that the Blizzard rep had at BlizzCon of being like, well, don't you have a phone? It's like, that's not the fucking point. That's not where I want this IP to be. This IP doesn't make sense. It's like, fuck. I'm trying to draw a parallel. I can't think of it right now.
Well, the only comparison I can think of a developer putting a long-awaited follow-up to another game on a mobile console would be with Bethesda kind of sticking their new Elder Scrolls game, Elder Scrolls Blades, on mobile.
Yeah.
Which is, because the UI, it's the same sort of thing. An Elder Scrolls game, the UI is, takes up a lot of the screen. It's a lot of that screen is taken up by your character's fucking hand.
Yeah.
It's a first-person game. Or if you play it at a certain way, it's a first-person game. You can always switch that off. But at the same time, I don't know what it is. It's just like I don't find it objectionable to put a game on mobile because some mobile games are all right. Some mobile versions of console games.
There are
okay.
types of mobile games that work for sure. Like Hearthstone works. I fucking love Hearthstone. Pokemon Go's fun. There's puzzle games and shit. But having a top-down action RPG game that is almost meant to be played multiplayer just feels super fucking weird.
It's definitely
removed from your actual market, and like it doesn't seem like Blizzard knows what the fans want. Really, like
it seems like a misstep, but I can't fault the company for fucking up. They're a company. They're not.
Yeah, no. But
they're thinking of trying to branch into another market, and their consumers are upset that market isn't them. To me, I just don't find that that's something that's worth complaining about. I don't know why. I'm also just maybe it helps that I'm kind of detached from Diablo as a franchise, where I have no love for it, but I have tons of love for Elder Scrolls, and I'm not upset that Blades is coming. And I love the Elder Scrolls. I'm deeply, deeply obsessed with that world and invested in it heavily. And I'm not going to lie that it's not disheartening that Blades is coming out on mobile and that I'm just not going to want to play it.
Yeah, but like that's the thing that sucks.
I don't object to its existence.
It's an IP experience that we're more or less going to be like, fuck that, I don't want to touch that. Like I don't even want to know it exists.
I'm just confident, I guess, that the next Elder Scrolls game is going to be good enough to make me forget.
Yeah.
This, which is what I'm thinking. You know, when Diablo 4 eventually does come out, people are gonna fucking forget all about Immortal.
Oh, of course. It's a very momentary
if
anger.
4 isn't out now, it's not because they're not working on it.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like this is definitely a stopgap.
It's the same thing with Elder Scrolls. You know, like they showed a fucking practically like 20 fucking second trailer that was just like Elder Scrolls 6 exists. Please don't kill us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, fine. But they did kind of the same thing with this, where they're like, Diablo Immortal is not the main game in the series. 4 is going to come out. Do not worry. Like, we would not make that game.
Yeah.
And I feel the way people act when it comes to stuff like this is, they act as if that other game isn't going to come out. Or that, like, I don't know, are they dying and the only thing that they want to do before they die is play the next Diablo?
Possibly.
Maybe, but it can't be that all of them feel
we
that
could
way.
die at any second, and if I don't get to play Diablo 4, my life's over.
Nowadays, more than ever, I suppose.
Yeah.
We're at kind of the brink. But I don't know. I just can't. You know what? Maybe it's also just the fact that I have so many other things to be angry about.
I mean, like, I'm angry about it, but I'm not angry to the point where I was, like, raging on media, because I'm pretty much removed from Diablo. Like, I've played 2, I liked it. I played 3 a bit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to me to make it a mobile game. It's not, like, I've played the console versions too, and the console versions are fucking garbage. They play so bad.
It just doesn't make sense to me in general to put anything on mobile.
It's
but
like,
I know that people play.
Yeah.
It. But I think that's just because I'm just so detached from these two things.
Yeah.
That I have no investment in it. But it just kind of seemed, I guess, maybe from the sidelines, a little silly. Because even when, like, franchises that I enjoy in other mediums do stuff, you know, that you could consider comparable to this.
Yeah.
It doesn't anger me. Like, I'm just like, okay, it's not for me. Like, when there's, like, I don't know, like, I guess since I love DC so much, when there's a version of DC that I'm not entirely enamored with, I don't call for, you know, the death of its fucking public.
Well, yeah, no, that's a little extreme.
But I also I don't get mad that it exists either. Like Teen Titans Go, I don't necessarily love it, but I don't hate it the way so many people do.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of people just have hate for it. And I'm like, I love DC more than I think a lot of people do, especially nowadays when there's no love lost between the public and their perception of DC Comics as a company. But especially with Marvel's popularity being like pretty much the highest it's ever been, right? But it doesn't make me mad that Teen Titans Go exists. Like, I don't think it's diluting the brand or whatever. That's another thing I heard about this game, is it dilutes the Diablo brand. And I'm like, what is the Diablo brand anyway? Some jank console RPGs? Like,
yeah.
let's be real. Like, there's of course there's total reason for why these people love these games.
Yeah.
But let's not pretend that like the other Diablo games are masterpieces.
Well, 2 is. They're arguably.
They're fun. They're fine.
They're super fun
games with a good world. Really
yeah.
good world, actually. But I don't know. It just kind of seems like this is just once again somebody taking it way too far.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fucking Spyro. Okay, well,
yeah,
speaking of Activision,
now this one is a little more condemnable and anger.
Fuck this.
Activision continues a streak of evil by only putting half of Spyro 2 and 3 on the disc. Therefore, meaning if you do not have an internet connection on whatever console you have because you are a child and your parents are like, you cannot have my credit card number.
Yep.
You don't get to play the game. And
fucking thanks, guys.
yeah, like this also doesn't make sense, especially in a world where Red Dead 2 is on the disc.
Yeah, and that game is fucking huge.
It's 2 games.
It's fucking huge.
I don't understand what the pull is here.
This is morally objectionable.
And there's a lot of people being like, "Oh, but not paper's dead. What the fuck? Like physical's dead anyway. Just download it like from online." And it's like not everyone can do that. Some people don't have internet
Some people
connection.
don't have
Some
access
people are
to
12.
That. Yeah.
Like I remember.
Some people still buy physical. I buy physical console games over digital games
Me
any
too.
day because I'm worried that my digital-only library will be fucking Thanos'd out of existence by a bad internet connection or something one day.
Yeah.
Like I like to collect physical media because I'm worried that digital media is very superfluous.
I trust digital enough with clouds and backup libraries and like it all being linked to your account. I just like having the thing in my hand.
Yeah,
it makes me feel nice.
That too. I mean, I'm a bloody hoarder when it comes to physical stuff. So I love collecting and buying, physical games for consoles is a great joy for me. Mm-hmm. But it's, I don't know, just like fucking what the hell, guys? Especially considering that you literally did the Insane trilogy.
Exactly. And
it was fine.
It doesn't make sense because it's a day 1 update. So like they're just going to release an unfinished game.
Yeah, are you shitting me? This is just bullshit.
Because this isn't like bonus levels or anything. This is base game just being not on your fucking disc.
Yeah. No, this is really, really bad. I cannot believe they did that. And speaking of morally objectionable, really, really bad companies doing bad things, because it seems like that was a lot in the news. Riot Games, who are the people who make League of Legends, after a couple of, I want to say just a couple months ago, there was a really, 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 really big expose done on the internal culture of Riot Games and just kind of how misogynistic and harmful and it's tech bro it kind of is, right?
Yeah, the big old bro culture.
Exactly, the tech bro kind of culture is really kind of permeates through the company with a lot lots of sexist and objectifying things.
There is allegedly an ongoing Riot Games hottest women employee email chain.
Yeah, so stuff like that happening. It's really bad. Anyway, Riot has finally caught some real legal heat for it. They are being fucking sued real hard too at that.
Is it by a company or a bunch of people?
I think it is a class action suit by a bunch of people.
Ooh. Update. Riot issued the following statement in response. While we do not discuss the details of ongoing litigation, we can say that we take every allegation of this nature seriously and investigate them thoroughly. We remain committed to a deep, comprehensive evaluation of our culture to ensure Riot is a place where all rioters thrive. Rioters?
I can say just from some of the people that I follow on Twitter who are former Riot employees, that is a load of bullshit, apparently. The people that I followed, I'm not going to name them because, whoever hears it, they're going to at them or whatever. But
don't at
some
me.
of the shit that I've seen is, Riot people who are employees at Riot, maybe coming out as trans or something like that, and being subject to just horrible shunning and abuse within their workplace, to being out blatantly disrespected and sexually harassed by fellow employees and superiors within the company.
Female employees are regularly belittled by supervisors at staff meeting by comments such as, her kids and husband must really miss her while she's at work. She talks louder than she should. She's shrill. She should speak less.
Yeah. So that's the kind of culture that we are talking about here.
Yeah.
Like the most toxic, awful workplace you could imagine. And not to make a generalization about the kind of people that play League of Legends, but esports in particular...
we can smell you from here.
Esports in particular tends to kind of carry on the uncomfortable tech bro culture, because it's that kind of unhealthy, the unhealthy kind of combination of competition with...
I mean, kind of in the same way that
a lot of dudes who probably pour a lot of just like real sports,
just like ball sports did for. I mean, still do. Let's not even fucking act like
competition causes people to fucking hate one another and to act like shit towards each other. And
I can't be beat by a girl, so we're not gonna let her play my ball game.
Exactly. This is the kind of shit. It's juvenile. It's really juvenile, but it's also just fucking obnoxious and awful to have to read this over and over.
I was going to read the comments, but I don't want to read the comments.
And this is all over a whole bunch of different Riot locations, too, because Riot's located, offices in a bunch of cities. They have one in Dublin, and I know they have one in LA, stuff like that. And it's happened at all of them, every single one of them. There have been allegations. I know that one of the other podcasts I listened to when this happened was discussing this, and they were talking about hearing rumors about what it was like to work at Riot in Dublin, because they're a podcast based out of Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it wasn't unheard of to them for this to kind of be how it was, and it's like this in a lot of industries, and we're seeing especially in a post Me Too world, a lot of workplaces being held accountable now for,
as they should be.
Yeah, exactly, for this kind of discriminatory practice. And straight up sexual harassment and a whole bunch of other shit in a bunch of cases too. So it's just really... I don't think it's sobering, because I feel like a lot of people were aware of this. But it's just upsetting. It's really upsetting. And it feels, especially if you're just kind of watching this on the sidelines and you can't do much to help these people, it's really, really, really disconcerting and upsetting to know that so many of the things that you enjoy, so much of the media that you consume, the games that you play, were made in environments probably like this.
Yeah.
You can't help but feel, as a consumer, slightly complicit in that abuse when you so thoroughly enjoy the work that those people are producing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of on a different vein, but just like Red Dead 2, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I got it.
And
I love that game, but 100-hour work weeks
is objectionable.
It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense, and that's part of
crunch in
the
particular
game industry
is a huge issue being called out.
And that's not even taking the Riot bullshit into account. That's just straight up. Crunch time is bad.
Yeah, crunch is it's bad for the mental health and well-being of your employees, and the physical health of your employees too. It's a terrible workplace. I don't want to keep saying workplace culture. It's a terrible practice.
Yeah.
To support and enable. It's really just fucking terrible, some of the things that people are putting up with, and super morally objectionable.
Big shit needs to change, quick.
Yeah, big shit does need to change. You got anything else on that news?
Let's check the docket. The Elite Four were revealed.
Yeah, so this is just cute because it makes me happy. I still kind of don't feel like I want to play this game, but I sure as hell am enjoying the aesthetics of
the more
Pokemon
I'm seeing of it, the more I'm into it.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the character designs that they're going for in this. They look very cute.
The models are really good.
They're clean. The game looks very polished.
Mm-hmm.
And it
looks
nice.
It looks like a Sun and Moon, just on a better resolution than 720.
Exactly, and it's Kanto.
Yeah.
And the thing that does make me not want to play the game is that it's Kanto, because I don't
we've
like
gone
Gen 1.
to Kanto so many times.
Exactly. We've done it 3 or 4 times already, just in the times that we've had Oh no, well, not even, because even more so than that, because you go. This is like a remake of Yellow, right? I suppose.
Yeah, which was a remake of like Blue.
Exactly, it's like the
Green. It was just
definitive
like a
version of
remake
Blue
of a
and Red.
remake of a remake.
And then you go to Kanto again in Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Gold and Silver and Crystal.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's like a nice treat. And then they remade it and they did Leaf Green and Fire Red. And Leaf Green and Fire Red.
Oh God, I forgot about Leaf Green
are
and Fire
Gen
Red.
3 style remakes of the original Pokemon games, but there's not a lot more meat to them.
No.
There's only the Sevi Islands, which are not very substantial in my memory. I don't remember them being, contributing to an extremely substantial post-game experience. They certainly don't have half the post-game experience of a game like Emerald or even better, the best games in the series. I will always say the Gen 5 Black and White 2 and Black and White.
I gotta get on that.
Incredible Pokemon games.
It's sitting right over there. You can see it.
They're the most polished, pixelized Pokemon games by far, and they have the most intensive, just long-form post games. I mean, the Pokemon World Tournament alone would be a good enough post game for most Pokemon games, especially for the recent ones, which have not had very good post game scenarios. But they've been thankful to have a good enough, solid, proper game, which is why Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon are pretty good games, and X and Y have like nothing. But Alpha and Omega actually have some pretty good stuff. But it's just really, it's just, I don't know. There's so much more of this game that I like aesthetically, but I'm resistant to the idea of wanting to play because I don't want to fucking play another campaign.
But Metal Man, Big Boy,
Meltan,
Meltan.
They're good boys. I like them. I mean, and I really do like these extremely expressive and fun new character designs for the game. They look very cute. So that shit's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel so conflicted about these games.
Yeah.
But it's
I do too. I mean,
I really do wish that I could.
I also
enjoy them.
don't like that it's a Go related thing.
Yeah, I don't like that it's because I don't play Go.
Yeah.
I don't have data,
I don't
so there's
know
no use of me
anyone
to play
who
Pokemon
plays Go.
I know that there's like still a pretty prevalent community.
Yeah,
of
I just
people
don't
who are
understand
super
them.
dedicated to it. I don't know why though. Yeah, they're just like
Diablo Immortal is for those people.
Yeah, it kind of is, I think. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's so much about this game that turns me off, but there's a lot about it, at least aesthetically, that I'm very interested in experiencing. Like, I really like how the game looks, and it looks like it plays very smoothly.
It does. It looks like one of the smoothest ones to date.
So hopefully all goes well with that. I'd like it to. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's pretty upsetting, I suppose, for me that this is kind of what we have, you know?
Yeah.
And this is kind of what we have to expect of
See, now you're
Pokemon.
getting the Diablo Immortal turmoil.
Maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing.
Do you want to murder Game Freak?
No, I'm not going to rage at Game Freak.
Okay.
I know that they're working, once again, working on a new game. It's probably going to be announced right after Let's Go comes out.
For sure.
So I'm excited, and it's coming up, they said, in like the late fall quarter of 2019.
Yeah. I mean, and they've already confirmed that Go is not a mainline, and that you should not really expect much of it.
Exactly. They're kind of like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's good for the people who want to play that, I suppose. I mean, you know what it is? It's a good way to get people back into playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Especially the people who, never shut the fuck up about Pokemon never having been good since
Gen 1 is the best.
Those are the people where it's totally clear they haven't played anything beyond Gen 1s. They have
that's the
nothing
thing.
more to
They look at the Pokemon and they're like, I don't like the design. I'm not playing. It's like,
fuck off. And even the people who are like, I don't like how this is designed. I'm like, nobody cares what you think.
Gen 1's stupid too.
They all look stupid. Pokemon are dumb imaginary animals made up. Some of them are objects. Some of them are slime.
It's Pikachu, a mouse, or a rabbit.
Who cares? And he's a mouse.
I think it's a rabbit.
Pikachu, he's a mouse. He's the electric mouse Pokemon.
Yeah, but he's also got rabbit ears.
I think he just has.
He's a big fucking mouse. Raditz has a mouse.
But
Raditz has a rat.
But there are rabbit.
Stupid.
There are like rabbit Pokemon though.
Yeah, I guess.
Like Lopunny, Bunnelby. I think that's it. Yeah. What is it?
My favorite Pokemon design is the just pile of garbage from Black and White.
I like that design. It's just
my
trash.
favorite. It's just garbage.
I like that
someone put eyes on garbage and was like, there you go.
Black and White, what I love about those Pokemon designs is that, well, firstly, my favorite Pokemon is from that generation, Scraggy, who is a cute little punk boy, and I like him. And he is definitely the most punk of all Pokemon, without question. And it helps that most of the characters that are like the punk characters in the games have him, which is valid.
It's true.
But and they have like Bisharp and stuff. They usually have like
once you get to the
poison
city,
types.
there's a bunch of like skinheady
type dudes,
suits.
and they always have like my dark and poison types, and also like one, usually like I guess a fucking like a ghost type.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have spooky boys.
Spooky boys.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. That's a good design. I just enjoy it. Be a fucking child again. You weren't looking at the designs of
You're
Pokemon
playing a
when you were
fucking
kid going,
video
"That's
game.
Fucking stupid." Like you're just enjoying yourself. You always should go into it with that same mentality.
Yeah.
And
unless you're playing Diablo Immortal, then fuck
there we.
I'm so mad. I'm not mad. I'm just. It's more like I don't know. Anyway, we talked about it. I won't go off on another tangent. It doesn't make sense to me as.
It's definitely an odd choice.
Because.
And I don't know how much it's not the choice I would have made.
No, exactly. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Like I think the thing that confuses me more is not that there was backlash. It's that Blizzard wasn't expecting backlash.
Yeah.
Like, how did you not see at least a little bit of backlash for this being on a phone? Like,
did you see what happened when people saw Star Wars and thought it wasn't good because they're dumb and bad? Like, and that was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. So what are you gonna say about your game that's probably not that great? You know, kind of can't defend that. The tide of internet hate is going to eat it up.
Yeah.
I mean. It's not the same sort of case as them making like a game that uses exploitive and morally objectionable practices to like kind of siphon money out of you.
Yeah,
because it's not like it's
pay
not,
us 99 cents for faster cooldowns.
Exactly, it's not Battlefront.
$5 to revive your hero.
Yeah, this isn't EA,
dude.
This is Blizzard just kind of making a mobile game.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just don't think
it seems like the wrong IP for a mobile game.
I think all IPs are wrong for mobile games, but
card games make sense.
Card games do make sense.
Card games are fun.
Actually.
Like Hearthstone's great.
And I know the Elder Scrolls card game is apparently really good too, which I actually don't know why I'm not on that shit, TBH, because I really would like to play that.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I like the Elder Scrolls.
There's just not that much lore in card games either, though.
In the Elder Scrolls one, there's like flavor on every card.
Shit.
The Elder Scrolls one would be great if it was a real card game. I can say that much. They have like expansion sets that are based on like factions, because Elder Scrolls has tons of factions. So there's like the Brotherhood of
Dark Brotherhood is the only one.
the Dark Brotherhood faction cards, which is really fucking cool.
Nice. And
like the Stormcloak expansion and like the Imperial Army expansion, which is kind of cool.
Build your deck.
And Elder Scrolls is like a thing that like I wish I had a console to play the Elder Scrolls Online on. That's for sure. Because that game looks mighty fucking fun. And a lot of people seem to be enjoying it.
I don't know.
It's consistently updated, and right now there's like a whole bunch of areas you can go in it that you previously wouldn't really be been able to go to in other games. Like
well, at least they're doing things with
you can go to fucking Morrowind in it, which is fucking awesome.
Is it 1-for-1 reconstructed?
It's even better. It's like a much better version of Morrowind. Yeah. And you like Vardenfell is like fucking erupting, and it's just like a really cool. I don't know. It just looks good. The Red Mountain looks fucking cool. I just
fucking hate MMOs.
Yeah, I know. But I know that you don't. I guess you don't necessarily have to play it like an MMO. You could just play it like a big Elder Scrolls.
I think it's too MMO-y.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't.
I know that.
I don't know. I haven't seen
the way it plays
seems
mostly just kind of like Elder Scrolls to me. But I don't know. I just want another Elder Scrolls game.
10 years. No,
I guess
5. Maybe 4.
I'm thinking it's going to come out on the next generation of consoles. That's
sure. They're probably aiming for PS4 and Xbox One.
They've been focusing too heavily on Fallout, I think. Which they should really just give that IP to.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the Fallout 76 debacle.
It looks bad. That game looks
It doesn't look great.
stupid. There's things about it that I like. I think the setting is awesome.
I like the bug that uninstalls it.
Yeah, then you never have to play it ever
Yeah,
again.
there you go.
No, there's like some creative ideas in it that I think could have worked well, but the fact that it's an online game makes it suck ass.
Yeah, and
Because
it seems
nobody
to be
wants to
going
play
with
online Fallout.
It seems to be going with the battle royale thing, where it's like, oh, you can kill your friends
With
down with a nuke.
nukes.
Kill them with a nuke.
Yeah, because that's that's totally Fallout-y. Like
Well, I mean,
nuking
Megaton.
people. I mean, yeah, but also that's
Get that
that's like a-
eyesore.
that's
Get
like
that
a-
eyesore out of my face.
a careful moral choice in that game.
I've just had no problem pushing that button.
I think that says more about you than it does about the game. But I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
it kind of undermines, I think, the gravity of the setting of Fallout when you can just nuke people at random.
You know what my favorite thing about that whole thing was? It blew up Megaton and was like, I feel bad. I have to rectify the terribleness of my decision. So I had the ghouls invade the Tenpenny Tower, like almost immediately after. So just killed everyone. Forever. Just get them all out.
I killed the evil too.
Okay.
The evil's defeated.
Balance has been restored.
Is that Elmo with all the firebox?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's kind of. I mean, when I play the Elder Scrolls, I always play the factions that are trying to recruit you all the time against each other. I mean, the first thing I went and did is join the Dark Brotherhood,
Same.
and then I just decided to go fuck everybody up. So yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, I don't know. Fucking nobody wants to play online Fallout,
no.
and the setting is so cool too. Like Virginia and the Blue Mountains and shit is
Yeah.
a really good setting for Fallout. The fact that they have like fucking Mothman and shit is
Yeah.
really cool.
I'm super
It just
into that. I just
fucking
like the thing about
sucks.
76 that's sad is like Fallout has a lot of cool lore shit about like Nuka-Cola and like just like all pre-war shit. There's so much cool shit to read. Like
And
you
just,
spend
like, the-
hours just
the
reading that
politics
shit.
of a post
Yeah.
a post-nuclear world is really cool.
And a pre-nuclear world too.
Yeah.
Like before
Like
the shit went
the
down,
way
just seeing
just
the
how
sketchy
everything got to
spy
that
shit.
point.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. It has a great world. It's just I don't know. It's
Just give us Fallout New Vegas too, please. Wubba-lubba-dub-dub. I can't. That's another thing. That turned me off of it so hard.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really, really
I
bad.
saw that post and physically recoiled.
Yeah, they did that Rick and Morty cross promotion for Fallout
Yeah.
76.
Which had an opposite effect of, I was actually thinking about trying the beta, and then I saw that, and I was like,
I'd rather kill
I
myself.
think I want to play this anymore.
I'd rather just not engage with it.
Or I could wait until the game doesn't uninstall itself.
That too. That wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, it's really disappointing. Wow, we're ending on a bit of a downer, I guess.
Yeah.
But man, Bethesda, Blizzard, you disappoint
Get your
us.
shit together.
Game Freak, whatever. You keep doing what
Yeah,
you do. You're doing okay. I
you
know
get
that
a
next
pass.
Pokemon game is
You
going to
get a
kick
pass
ass.
today.
That new game is going to be good. So whatever. I'm sure even Let's Go Eevee is going to be fine. I'm just not going to want to play it.
I'm gonna get Let's Go Eevee because
Yeah.
Eevee's my favorite Pokemon,
I like Eevee.
and I want Eevee to ride on my head.
Yeah, he's really cute.
Yes.
I might just have to get it to try it at
That's
least.
that's the thing. I just want to know
Do you
what
want
it
that
is.
dumb Pokeball controller? I kind of want it.
Yeah,
I
I
kinda
like
want it.
stupid shitty novelty things.
I know, so do I.
Look at my desk. It's
Yeah.
covered in them.
Yeah, I suppose. I just wish that I don't know, there was more to it, you know? It always feels a little insubstantial.
Yeah. I think that is it for news.
Any questions in the cheat?
Not yet. Questions? It's probably gonna be joke questions, so we might not answer any of them. I'll check the email.
Video
real
game?
quick. You want to play video game with my son?
There's a kid in one of my classes at school that sounds like, he sounds like this. It's really funny. And he always
fucked up.
asks questions. He's very talkative. So
Aw,
every time
that's the best.
he goes like, excuse me, I have a question. It's really funny. It's
Welcome
really
to the
funny.
Bully Cast.
It's
Welcome
really
to the
funny.
Bully Cast.
Hello, yeah. This is the Bully Cast, where I bully the really annoying Eastern European conservative in my education classes.
You should talk to him. Yeah.
You know, electrical skateboard. That's a good question. My answer is.
What did you think about Tyson Chandler getting added as a backup center to the Lakers roster? And my answer is I don't know.
I can name 5 basketball players.
PK Subban.
PK
Subban's brother.
PK Subban's brother.
Wait. Oh no. That's a little inside.
What can I do? Kobe Bryant.
Name 5 basketball players.
Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You made that
Michael
one up.
Jordan. No, he's real. He's actually really good too. I only know about him because
Michael Jordan doesn't count.
Jordan.
He was in Space Jam. Anyone could do that one.
Steve Nash because he's white, and I remember that he was the white guy.
Birdman.
Yao Ming.
Birdman. No. Does he count? Is Birdman a basketball player?
I think
he's the top
Kareem.
scorer
Yeah.
of all
See,
time.
Kareem is fucking good.
What the fuck?
You're at 4. Okay.
Yeah, you're 4.
Kareem
Oh, no,
Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe
you got it.
Bryant, Steve Nash.
No, you got it. You got 5.
Okay, you got
I don't
5.
remember
Shit.
what they were, but you got it. We got the chat clear.
Yeah! I know what a basketball is. I've read enough books by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to know more about him than
I watched
the
a
fact that he's
basketball
player.
anime once.
I watched Kuroko no Basket. I really think it's good, and I like Slam Dunk. Yeah, LeBron James. I could have named LeBron. Actually, he's gonna be in Space Jam too. Does that mean he counts?
Yeah, he does count.
Okay.
He's also. What does he make? I think he's making a new Friday the 13th.
LeBron James.
Yes. Well, I'll try to find the news stories so
I know
we
that
can.
LeBron's actually a good actor because I've seen him in movies, and
Yeah.
he can act like in a way that Michael Jordan can't
Hold
act.
on, we're gonna hard confirm this right now. LeBron James rebooting Friday the 13th.
That's such an unlikely thing.
He's apparently a huge horror fan.
LeBron James's new game studio is
Reboot.
okay with
Almost
the
10
original
years after-
film's writer.
Yeah.
What? Spring Hill Entertainment and Vertigo Entertainment, the company behind the recent Poltergeist remake and Blair Witch Project sequel. Oh
yeah, because the fucking rights for Friday the 13th were a mess for like a while.
That's why. Yeah. Okay, well, you know what?
So yeah, LeBron
Fucking
James
do it,
is gonna be
dude.
directing.
I'm all for people who you wouldn't expect to want to reboot a slasher series doing it, considering what Halloween was like. Because it was like, yeah, Danny McBride wants to write a Halloween sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then he did, and it was really good. So you know what, LeBron, all the power to you. I want to watch your Friday the 13th movie. That's badass. Is it safe to say there's not going to be a BasketPunx?
No basket punks, no hockey punks.
No hockey punks. No.
We're not good at the
BasketPunx.
sports ball.
Could we still do a Monster by Mistake lorecast?
Oh God. You know what?
We should maybe actually sit down and record like a commentary.
Just
Monster
like
by
a
Mistake.
joke one.
That would be fun.
That could be a good pull. That'll be for no one.
That would be for me.
I will watch our video about Monster by Mistake.
I want to watch the Monster by Mistake commentary.
Oh no.
But
What have I gotten
I think that's
myself
kind of
into?
it for news for now.
Yeah. Which means that's pretty much it for the podcast.
That's how it be.
That's how it be. They don't think it be like it do, but it do. All right. So we will see you again next week.
Yes, we will. Same time, same channel.
Maybe a different time.
Same punk.
Maybe earlier?
Same punk time. Maybe earlier.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. I suppose.
We'll try to get a more
centralized time. We've kind of been doing it at like 3:00 when we were doing it just at each other's houses.
But now that you get to come here, maybe like maybe a bit earlier.
We could probably do it earlier.
Yeah, we'll figure out time.
I'm done class at 11:30, so I can be over here pretty quickly. All I have to do is go to Barry and then take the orange line. So it's
You-
not that slow.
You're giving away your position. You'll get stabbed by LeBron James. in a
LeBron James is
Jason
gonna
mask. That's his reboot. Just stabs
Some
one kid in the
player
Montreal
that I
Metro.
don't know is gonna come and stab me.
I feel like being stabbed by LeBron James would be a good way to just
Probably.
bounce.
All right. I guess that will be it for this week.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
just remember, I guess, to sub to us on YouTube if you want to listen to the video without having to go on Twitch, which I know a lot of people like to do.
Yeah.
And then look for the mega folder where I'm going to upload the MP3 of this episode.
Which we will put in all YouTube descriptions.
Yeah.
You can also find us on Facepunk.
Facepunk.
GamePunx. Facebook. Gamebook.
Yeah.
Facebook.
We-
Oh no, Facebook's the right one.
Yeah, and we also got, I guess we have a Discord.
Yeah, we have a Discord. We can put the
Link to the
invite
Discord, too, in the description.
just as long as we don't accidentally give anyone admin rights, we'll be fine.
We totally would want to do that. It's
Yeah.
definitely not an issue. But I think that's going to be it for now.
Yeah.
All right.
So see you next week, everyone.
Yeah, have yourselves a good week.